Ja, furchtbar. Krank sein. Schlaft. Einmal die schöne MJ-Geschichte hier. So. So, dann reiten wir doch mal los. Entspannt. Solange mein Magen noch mitmacht. Ich habe es tatsächlich geschafft, mir den Magen zu verderben. Auch etwas, das muss ich mir mal vorstellen. Ich trinke schon wieder Tee, weil mir der Kaffee absolut nicht schmeckt und ich dem Kaffee auch absolut nicht traue. Und das ist eine sehr traurige Angelegenheit. Wie oft kann man traurig sagen? Und ich so, ja, man kann sehr oft traurig sagen. Man muss es nur probieren. Okay, finde ich cool. Bei mir geht die Post ab. Das ist doch schön. So etwas liebe ich. Dass die Post abgeht bei mir zu Hause. Das ist genau das, was ich gebraucht habe. Im Hintergrund irgendwelche Geräusche. Wir haben ja auch eine Baustelle vorm Haus. Richtig gut. Richtig gut. Freue ich mich doch direkt mal. Nicht wirklich, aber das kann man sagen. Schlecht hingehen sagen, ich finde es voll kacke und so. Also ich würde gerne, aber ich bin der Überzeugung, das kommt nicht so gut. Ich liebe es auch, dass mein Stuhl quietscht. Ah, heute ist nicht mein Tag. Heute ist nicht mein Tag. Ich muss noch was fertig machen für meinen Kollegen, der krank ist. Und dann werde ich wahrscheinlich ins Bett liegen und versuchen, meinen Bauch zu beruhigen. Deswegen heute keine Kamera, weil ich echt aussehe, wie ich mich fühle. Ich habe nämlich heute Nacht auch nicht viel geschlafen. Und mir schmeckt, wie gesagt, noch nicht einmal der Kaffee. Das ist immer so der Punkt, wo man sagt, okay, das ist cool. Wenigstens der Kaffee könnte schmecken. Tut er nicht. Es ist schwierig. Meine Lieben, ich habe mir überlegt, damit ihr euch die Filme nicht anschauen müsst. Hallo Wulpi. Damit ihr euch die Filme nicht anschauen müsst, nehme ich einfach von Alex Myers die Kurzzusammenfassungen. Die sind großartig, die sind so unglaublich gut gemacht. Der animiert seine eigenen kleinen Sachen zwischendurch. Also der hat da schon, also der ist da hinterher und ich liebe es einfach. Und das ist vielleicht auch ganz gut nebenher. Also ich lasse ja nebenher morgens auch immer YouTube laufen. Das klingt auch merkwürdig. Und da sind echt gute Sachen dabei. Und ich habe gesehen, er hat auch meine Lieblingsfilme von Disney gereviewt. Also Descendants? Ich kann es nicht aussprechen, sind wir mal ehrlich. Und das schauen wir uns zusammen an und dann leiden wir auch ein bisschen zusammen. Und ich hoffe, dass ich so lange durchhalte, bis ich einen Brotjob Feierabend machen kann, weil mir geht es echt nicht so gut. Ich habe auch noch nichts gegessen heute, weil ich mich einfach nicht getraut habe. Deswegen war es eigentlich auch ganz gut, dass es ein Meeting über das Mittagessen rüberging. Also eigentlich über die Mittagspause, aber das ist normalerweise auch die Zeit, wo ich dann auch eine kurze Kleinigkeit esse. Aber das habe ich heute weggelassen, weil ich gedacht habe, so, nee, komm. Letztes Mal hast du was zum Mittag gegessen hast gestern. Hat das Mittagessen nicht den Abend erreicht. Deswegen, ich vermute, ich habe mir irgendwo was Verdorbenes gegönnt. Und das war wohl dann nicht so der Hit, weil mein Magen möchte das alles nicht. Also das ist ja auch okay, das muss man ja auch nicht, ne? Deswegen, meine Lieben, hätte ich gesagt, ich versuche jetzt meinem Kollegen den Bobbes zu retten. Ich hatte das schon mal. Lebensmittelvergiftungen sind ja bei mir immer relativ, also da bin ich immer relativ dankbar. Bei Magen-Darm bräuchte ich jetzt nicht unbedingt. Aber ich gehe mal davon aus, es ist eine Lebensmittelvergiftung. Ich habe zumindest nicht mehr diesen Blähbauch, den ich Dienstag und Mittwoch hatte. Mir ist einfach nur noch schlecht. Das ist okay. Ich habe auch nicht mehr diesen komischen Nachgeschmack im Mund. Also es ist definitiv irgendwas gewesen, was vielleicht irgendwo gekippt ist oder man weiß es nicht. Es ist zumindest keine Mandeln, aber ich habe irgendwo was mit Mandeln gegessen die letzten Tage, weil ich habe schon wieder überall diesen Ausschlag von den Mandeln. Und das geht mir ja auf den Zeiger. Ne? Ungesund. Und wie gesagt, ich dachte, ich bin. Oh nein. Soll ich mal schauen. Wir haben eine Bot-Attacke auf dem Alea Libris Account. Egal. Ich dachte mir, wenn ich sowieso schon. Also ich kenne die Filme jetzt mittlerweile, aber ich dachte mir, ich erspare euch die Filme. Und dann schauen wir ganz entspannt die YouTube-Sachen an und lassen uns ein bisschen berieseln. Und ich liebe die Animationen, die sind einfach wirklich gut gemacht. Und weil ich gerade schon die 7. E-Mail bekommen habe, seit ich offiziell wieder arbeite, würde ich sagen, schmeißen wir den Timer an, schmeißen das YouTube-Video an und erfreuen uns an der Besprechung von Zombies. Dann müsst ihr den Film nicht sehen. Hallo Claire, dann müsst ihr einfach den Film nicht sehen oder alle 3 Filme, das kann man sich jetzt, ne? So, ich mute mich, kümmere mich um meinen Brotjob und dann hören wir uns in 25 Minuten wieder und ich bin gespannt, ob ihr das auch so großartig findet, was Alex da macht.
Ever since I started doing these videos about Disney Channel movies, I've been getting a lot of requests, even from members of the cast, to do a video about the movie Zombies. Now, in doing all these teen drama rom-com videos or whatever, I've seen girls fall in love with just about every kind of guy you could imagine. Vampires, werewolves, Swedish guys who like musicals, that British dude who read a book once. But I gotta say, a girl falling for a singing, dancing zombie is a first for me. But anyway, so I thought it was about time to check out the Disney Channel original movie, Zombies.
Welcome to Seabrook. We're a perfectly planned community. We all have perfect homes, perfect clothes.
Well, hey, between you and me, that sounds like a great way to keep your movie under budget, you know what I mean? Anyway, so the story goes that everyone had this perfect Stepford Wives, Andy Griffith dystopian lifestyle going on, but one day, everything changed.
Who would have thought that an accident involving lime soda would set off the apocalypse?
When the contaminated green haze blew west,
It turned them into zombies.
Now, all this stuff happened 50 years ago, and today, the zombie problem is more or less under control. You see, every zombie is given this wristband thing that helps keep them all, super chill, dude. And a barrier was put up to split everyone into Seabrook and Zombie Town, so they can keep the bad kids out and the good kids in, and wait a second here. Isn't this just Descendants? But with zombies instead of kids who only wear leather pants for some reason? Anyway, so after all this exposition, we finally get to meet our main characters.
I'm Zed, and yeah, I'm a zombie. So things are changing. Today's the first day we can attend human high school, and I get to try out for the football team. Go Seabrook! Oh yeah!
But yeah, so this is Zed the Zombie, who, in case you hadn't noticed, is just a little too enthusiastic about everything, so strap yourselves in, everybody. But anyway, so after this, we flash over to Seabrook and meet Addison, just your average relatable teenage girl with apparently no sense of stranger danger.
oh, hi, I'm Addison.
Oh, hello. But of course, being the main character of a teen rom-com, she also has a dark secret that she can never tell anyone.
I'm a totally normal teen. Well, except for this. born with it.
That's right, everybody. Addison's big secret is that she's got 3 different hair colors going on at the same time. I can already tell this movie's gonna be quite the emotional roller coaster. But yeah, so Addison over here wants nothing more than to be a cheerleader, while Zed really wants to be a football player. So, golly gee, I wonder if they're gonna cross paths at some point. So then all the kids in town sing a song about being excited for the new school year, and Zed happens to catch a glimpse of Addison, and he's like... And then finally, the first day of school starts, but turns out things aren't quite what Zed was expecting.
I'm Principal Lee. We are thrilled to be forced to have you here. Do not leave the basement. Okay. Have a great year.
Now, as we learned earlier in the movie, the only thing Zed really cares about is sports. So he sneaks his way out of the basement to find the football team. But wouldn't you know, someone sees him in the hallway and freaks out, cause, you know, he's one of them zombones, and pulls the zombie alarm, which puts the whole school on lockdown. Now, with no other choice, Zed escapes into a zombie safe room, and by pure happenstance, guess who also gets locked in the same room at the same time?
Hello?
Why, hello. This just isn't how I was expecting my first day at a new school to go.
You weren't expecting to be trapped in a zombie safe room?
Oh, no, that I expected. That happens to me all the time. It's sort of my thing.
So as you've probably already figured out, because the lights are off, Addison can't really tell who she's talking to, and based on the silhouette here, I mean, it could be Harry Styles, who knows? But then eventually the lights come back on and, whoops.
Nice to meet you. All clear. Zed, I'm so sorry. My parents have always taught me that zombies are disgusting, dead-eyed freaks, but you're not hideous at all.
Oh, thank you, Addison. Oh, boy, you know, that would have been the best compliment any girl could have given me in high school, I tell you what. Hey, you know, despite what everyone in the whole school says about you, like, every day, you don't make me want to throw up. I mean, sure, I may have dry heaved a couple times, but it's not so bad. Anyway, so after everything calms down, Addison tries out for cheerleading, and Zed tries out for the football team.
Good news for you, though. Y'all made the team. Whoopee.
Yes, I made it.
Except for the zombie.
What?
Now, as for Addison, of course she gets picked for varsity cheerleading because her cousin Bucky is the cheer captain and it was all rigged from the start anyway, so yeah, you know, follow your dreams, kids. Now, speaking of Bucky, something you should probably know is that he's not really a big fan of zombies, but not for the reason you might think.
Hey!
Hey, what's up, guys?
Zombies are students at Seabrook too, Bucky. Picking on them isn't right.
Zombies distract people from what's really important. Like cheer, us, me.
But anyway, so later that day, I think, I don't know, it's anyone's guess, is the back-to-school pep rally, and Bucky gets the idea to use these, like, sparkler things to rile up the zombie kids and hopefully get them kicked out of school.
It's gonna be fine, don't worry.
You know, Addison sure seems real calm about all this, considering she has no idea what just happened. I mean, from her perspective, this entire scene was just like, wah! Oh, hey, aren't you that guy I punched in the face yesterday? Well, this is weird. But anyway, so because it turns out that Zed has superpowers or whatever, now, of course, the coach wants him on the football team, because as we all know from every movie like this, deviations from the norm will be punished unless they can be exploited and repackaged as opportunities.
I need you on the team, Zed.
Okay, can you just give me a second to think about it? Who's the zombie? I'm the zombie, and this zombie's playing some ball.
You know, maybe you could just, like, not do that. And so, with Zed now joining the football team, the principal agrees to let the zombie kids eat in the cafeteria with the regular kids as a sign of good faith.
And I just love the thought of flying through the air. Oh my God, oxygen is so overrated, and so is dirt. Addie? Are you okay, Addie?
My heart's racing and my palms are sweaty.
Okay, well, according to WebMD over here, looks like you either have a cold or you're gonna die in 24 hours. So, good luck with that. But you know, having watched as many of these kinds of movies as I have, I realized that I went through high school, like, completely the wrong way. I thought that, like, if I was the funny kid or was in show choir or something, like, surely I would at least get a date to prom. But no, turns out the whole time the secret was you just gotta be tall or be dead. Or both. But anyway, so because Addison has a heart of gold and she's completely perfect in every way except her one single flaw of having her real hair color be a little more blonde than usual, she doesn't care what people think when she goes over to thank Zed for saving her life and ask him if it's just on his head or if it's all like that or what's going on there. But the other cheerleaders aren't quite so la-di-da Disney princess about it.
You know you're talking to zombies, right?
I'm fighting against intolerance.
Your cousin is not going to be happy you're palling around with zombies.
Cheerleaders don't support freaks.
Okay, well, in that case, you care to explain what's going on with this kid? Is this on purpose? But anyway, so after this, Addison and Zed meet out in the hallway, and they have a conversation that basically goes like, "Man, being different sucks." "Yeah, I know, right?" "Pfft, what would you know about being different? You're just like everybody else." "Nuh-uh, my real hair color is slightly more blonde than this wig I'm wearing." "Oh, well, in that case, we should sing a song." And so they proceed to do that, and now they're kind of sort of like a thing, I guess. But they gotta keep it a secret, because everyone knows a Montague can't be with a Capulet. I mean, come on, what are you, new? Now, the next part of the movie is Zed finally playing his first football game, and he gets his zombie friend Eliza to hack his wristband to give him superpowers like what he had back at the pep rally.
Ooh, whoa, way too zombie. Oh, too human. Okay, just a little bit more. There. Perfect. All right, never swipe to the right, okay?
You know, it's funny you say that, because back when I was on dating apps, that was also apparently every girl's policy when they saw my profile. You know, I'd wake up every morning, check the matches tab, and it would just say, "Ha, you wish!" But yeah, so Zed hulks out, they win the game, and wouldn't you know, now zombies are the cool kids. Which of course also means they end up getting all the other kids in school just being like, well, you know, personally, I actually prefer zombie girls. But also, now Bucky's really upset because he's not the center of attention anymore, and the only thing he hates more than that is probably the fact that he looks like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron.
You're either pro-cheerleader or pro-zombie. Decide now.
Yeah, are you gonna support an entire disenfranchised population or one after-school activity? Pick a lane, Addison. But I mean, come on, this is Addison we're talking about, right? There's nothing to worry about.
I want to be a cheerleader.
But you sang a song together. You danced around a lamp. Did that mean nothing to you? No, please, by all means, just keep on going, Brutus. Anyway, so the football team keeps winning all their games thanks to Zed, but the cheerleaders won't let Addison even say hi to him, or else she'll be kicked off the squad. But don't worry, everybody, Addison's not giving up that easy. Because, I mean, come on, nothing gets teenagers more riled up than not being allowed to date someone. But, Dad, you don't understand. He kind of sort of looks like Harry Styles in the dark. It's like I won the lottery. Anyway, so as these movies always go, you know, Addison and Zed keep sneaking around and singing songs and doing all kinds of... And, of course, as they go on, they have these little heart-to-heart talks.
I have to mess with my Z-band to win games.
Isn't that dangerous?
Addison, if I don't win, zombies will never be accepted.
I know how that feels.
Oh, do you now? You know, sure, the zombies may have to wear special wristbands and legally are not allowed to leave their neighborhood, but hey, you have a wig on, so... Oh boy, I can't wait to read that autobiography. But anyway, so in the middle of their date, the police show up because apparently there's like a zombie curfew, and Addison gets escorted home.
You snuck out? Addison!
You know how dangerous it is out there? I'm gonna go, Chief. Hey.
This town is full of monstrous zombies. What were you up to?
I was out with a boy.
Oh, boy. Probably a good idea I just leave, Chief. Hey.
Now, who exactly is this boy?
We need to meet this boy, Addison, or you'll never cheer again.
So remember back when that Eliza girl hacked Zed's wristband thing and told him this?
All right, never swipe to the right, okay?
Well, to meet Addison's parents, he has no choice but to swipe all the way to the right and turns himself fully human. So, you know, instead of looking like a dead zombie or whatever, now he's just one of those tall, lanky dudes who looks like he hasn't slept in like 3 weeks. You know, the kind of guy who, for some reason, makes every girl go, "Aha! Just what I've been looking for." But doing this also causes his wristband to start glitching out or whatever, and right before the big homecoming football game later that day, Bucky and friends steal Eliza's laptop thing and somehow manage to hack Zed, Eliza, and that other guy's wristbands in like 30 seconds using this software from like 1995 and turn them into full-on zombies. So after a little kerfuffle or whatever, the police come, round them all up, and now everyone hates zombies again. And that's when Addison over here has finally had enough.
Hey! You did this to him. You made him feel like he had to risk his life to belong. Because you couldn't deal with someone different. But you had no problem using him to win your stupid games.
And so, after singing a song about how she has to be true to herself and follow her heart, or something like that probably, she takes her wig off in front of the whole school, and that's when everyone realizes the error of their ways. Yeah, okay, never mind. But you know, I'm just saying, like, if she'd been born with blue hair or purple hair or just been unbearably annoying for no particular reason, then this would all make a little more sense. But like, the whole emotional climax of the movie is just, I can't pretend anymore. I have to be true to myself. I'm not actually blonde. I'm really blonde. Anyway, so then we get to the end of the movie, and I mean, really, it's just the most, like, Disney Channel thing you're ever gonna see. So basically, there's this cheerleading championship thing going on that has almost nothing to do with, like, anything else in the movie. So because of the events that just happened, Addison and a couple other kids were kicked off the cheerleading team, and so, you know, the squad just isn't quite what it used to be. But just when it looks like it's all over, wouldn't you know, the zombie kids decide to get on stage and dance too, and that's how they change the world. By dancing. I will say though, I was kind of impressed with how they handled Addison and Zed's relationship. I just mean, like, in other Disney Channel movies, you know, they would have this kind of like will they won't they thing go on for the entire film. And like at the end, you know, maybe they hold hands once or something. But in this movie, they meet, they talk, they like each other, and then they just kind of like get together, you know? I just thought it was nice they didn't do like this overly drawn out thing. But all the same, Zombies 2 comes out next month on Valentine's Day, I believe. So guess what video I'm probably gonna do in a few weeks? Speaking of singing, dancing zombies, this video is brought to you by Dashlane. If you're like me, in which case, that's rough, you probably find yourself using the same password over and over again for different things, right? But of course, if one password gets hacked, then suddenly they could access all your information. Kind of like how that cheerleader could just somehow magically hack everyone's wristbands using whatever this laptop is supposed to be. Well, if you only use one password over and over again, before you know it, all your personal information's been stolen, and someone's using your credit card to buy 150 copies of Ham Taro Ham Heartbreak. Being someone who uses the internet for pretty much everything, it's invaluable to have that extra level of security that Dashlane can give you. Dashlane is a one-stop shop for your digital identity. It manages all your passwords, personal info, financials, whatever you need, making your life safe and more secure. It works across all devices, including Apple products, PCs, Android, Safari, and Chrome. It also has a secure autofill feature that works for personal information, credit cards, that type of thing. It comes with a VPN to stop people from tracking you, and they even check if your personal information is being sold on the dark web. So to try Dashlane for free for life on your first device, go to dashlane.com/Alex Myers, and you can use my promo code Alex Myers to get 10% off to use Dashlane on all your devices. So the link is down below, and once again, thank you Dashlane for sponsoring this video. Whew, so this video took a long time to make. I mean, all my videos take a long time to make, of course, but I really feel like I finally sort of starting to settle into a style of animation. Everything up until recently
Ich muss ja jetzt mal ganz ehrlich sagen, diese Zombie-Dinger sind ja schon ganz lustig. Also die Videos sind auf jeden Fall besser als die Filme. Ich habe die Filme ja angeguckt und hätte gerne meine Lebenszeit zurück, sage ich ganz ehrlich. Aber ich liebe die Videos und auch wenn ich die Disney-Villains, also die Descendants mag wie sonst was, ich bin sehr gespannt auf die Videos. Ich habe ja immer nur ein bisschen reingeguckt, um zu gucken, was geht da eigentlich, kann ich das zeigen? Und ich liebe das erste Video. Ich habe tatsächlich heute Morgen per Zufall die Dinger gesehen und habe mir die ersten Minuten angeguckt und fand es großartig. Und hallo Flo, hallo Baufußball, hallo Aliana, schön, dass ihr da seid. Selbstschuld am Mobbing, niemand ist selbst schuld am Mobbing. Was ist denn das für eine Scheiße? Das hast du gut gemacht, dass du dich abgemeldet hast. Das geht gar nicht, weil ganz ehrlich, niemand ist schuld, also selber schuld, dass andere einen mobben. Also niemand geht hin und sagt, so, heute möchte ich gemobbt werden, also verhalte ich mich auch so. Was ist denn das für ein... das macht mich sauer. Ja. Auf jeden Fall hoffe ich, dass wir ein bisschen durchhalten, oder beziehungsweise ich ein bisschen durchhalte, weil, also zumindest bis 4:30, dann habe ich Feierabend. Deswegen bin ich gern, ja. Hoffe ich, dass euch die Videos auch gefallen, weil ich finde sie super lustig. Bin ich ganz ehrlich, ich finde sie mega lustig. Ja, was Wulpi sagt. So, weil ich gerade Daten überprüfen muss, was ich ja nicht schon die letzten Tage gemacht habe, würde ich tatsächlich sagen, wir starten einfach noch das nächste Video, das genauso gut ist, glaube ich. Allein schon, weil es halt Zombies 2 ist, mit den Werwölfen. Hallo Tobi! Ja. Ich habe mir überlegt, dass wir dann nachher, je nachdem, wie es mir geht, heute ist echt, also, ne? Dass wir dann noch ein bisschen plotten. Ich habe mich zwar immer noch nicht entschieden, was ich schreiben soll. Im Januar, aber ich hatte gestern Nacht, als ich nicht schlafen konnte, eine gute Idee. Eine Rachegeschichte. Bis später, danke, dass du da warst, Baufußball. Und Rachegeschichten finde ich großartig, liebe ich sehr. Deswegen hätte ich jetzt gesagt, sind wir heute mal ein bisschen fleißiger als sonst. Wir haben ja auch später angefangen. Und ich schmeiß uns direkt, erstmal Husten noch. Sorry. Schmeiß uns direkt das nächste Video an. Vielleicht machen wir auch 2 hintereinander. Einfach weil es so lustig ist. Und ich habe gesehen, er hat auch Vampire Diaries gemacht. Und ich finde, das können wir uns auch geben. Ich habe zwar auch noch nicht alle Staffeln gesehen, aber ich habe da eigentlich nicht so Bock drauf. Das wurde immer irgendwie abstruser und als es dann auch noch zaubernde Vampire gab, war ich heraus, ne? Deswegen können wir nachher auch meine Datenbank gucken, was er noch so alles hat, weil ich mag es und ich finde es großartig, was er sich da für eine Mühe gegeben hat mit den Animationen. Also lieber Alex. Eine Gruppenstunde, in der es um Ängste ging. Ich erzähle, dass ich nicht wieder in eine Mobbing-Situation geraten möchte. Ja. So viele Menschen, so viele Jahre weg. Wow. Ja, das hast du ja erzählt. Also ganz ehrlich. Was? Entschuldigung. Da ist mir doch mal ganz kurz ein bisschen, ne? Hass hochgekommen. So. Ich würde jetzt einfach das Video anschmeißen. Ihr seht hier schon die beste Vorschau. Hä? Würde mich wieder muten, weil sonst hört es wieder doppelt, weil ich krieg das mit OBS gerade noch nicht so geregelt, dass er das endlich mal trennt. Und dann hören wir uns vielleicht sogar nach 2 Videos, also mit Verlängerung in die Pause. Und dann haben wir Redebedarf. So, bis gleich, meine Lieben.
So about a month ago, I made a video about the Disney Channel original movie, Zombies. Now that movie didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but the basic premise, as goofy as it was, I can get behind it. But anyway, just a week or so ago, Disney gave us the sequel to Zombies with the very clever name Zombies 2. And now we finally get to see what's been going on with Addison and Zed and all the other characters who don't have their own coloring books. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to assume that you've either seen the first movie before, or you saw my video, or maybe you just don't care either way, whatever.
Welcome back to Zebra, where belonging is everything.
We're a strong, united, and tight-knit community. And that's a good thing, because it wasn't always this way.
So yeah, thanks to all the zombie dancing at the end of the first movie, all societal problems have been solved and everyone's best friends now because I guess this world just follows the Bring It On rules. But that's when we get the new twist.
Legend has it that when the first settlers came to Seabrook, they found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Wait, hold on a second. Like back in the first movie, right? The whole idea was that Seabrook was this utopian paradise until the zombies came or whatever, right? But then this movie, first thing, like, ha, just kidding, there's been demon monsters here the whole time. I mean, Disney Channel's just over here trying to make their own Riverdale, I tell you what.
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source. Realizing they discovered a precious resource, they safeguarded it from the beasts.
So yeah, there you go. Just a whole bunch of zombies extended universe lore for you, I guess. But anyway, so after this, in present day, once again, we meet our old buddy Zed the zombie, and he explains what his new life in Seabrook is like.
Seabrook is getting rid of all of its old anti-monster laws. So now, Zombie Town is open to everyone. Hey.
Mine!
Wait.
Hey!
What's up, Coach?
Cauliflower brains mocha crunch, please.
You got it.
Seabrook has way more flavors than just vanilla now. I'll take a vanilla, Coach. What? I like vanilla.
I mean, yes, clearly. Then we flash sideways over to Addison real quick with her cousin Bucky at cheer camp. Something we learn here is that Bucky wants to run for school president, and this means he won't be the cheer squad captain anymore, even though that was what his entire character was about. So why is he doing this? I have no idea. Who could possibly know?
I've decided to be school president this year. Now, technically there's an election, but come on. We'll need a new cheer captain while I rule the school. Who's worthy to lead?
We need a captain that's gonna build a united squad. Someone like Addison.
Thanks, Bree. Being cheer captain has always been my dream.
You know, probably my favorite thing about the zombies movies is how they break the fourth wall at just the most random times, as if apparently I've just been silently standing here this whole scene like some kind of serial killer. But anyway, finally, the movie gets going. So Addison's on her way back from cheer camp, and Zed sets up this Home Alone-style Rube Goldberg machine to ask her to the prawn. Did you get it? It's like the prom, but it's shrimp. But one mishap leads to another, and Zed makes the bus crash into the forest. Now, despite having a life-threatening concussion, I assume, Addison runs out to go find Zed.
Who's there? Zed? Who's there? Hello? Zed?
That's right, everybody. We've got werewolves now. It's been 12 years since Twilight came out. We're still doing this, huh? Also, quick shout out to whoever this is, because you are just giving that 110% right there. Now, long story short, because Addison saw this one girl go, this is apparently proof enough that the forest is full of werewolves and not just a couple weird kids out there doing, you know, whatever weird kids do. But anyway, so just like that, the entire town of Seabrook starts freaking out.
Mom, Dad, everything is fine.
It's not fine. There are werewolves circling us right now, waiting to attack.
And I'm way too tasty. I'm always looking like a snack.
Hold my purse.
By order of City Council, effective immediately, all anti-monster laws are reinstated.
Now, what this means is that zombies can't go to the prawn anymore, which is clearly the bigger issue here.
So the anti-monster laws are in effect again, which means
Zombies can't go to prawn.
but we're gonna fight this, Zed.
So the thing about these anti-monster laws is, I guess they only affect the prawn dance thing or whatever? Because, I mean, everybody still goes to school together, zombies out walking around, no problem, nobody cares. So, like, huh? Anyway, as you can probably imagine, Addison and Zed really want to find a way that they can go to the prawn together. And this leads to Zed's master plan to run against Bucky and be school president.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zed, and I am running for president. Yeah.
Zed can't steal my spotlight.
The first ever zombie president. I will allow zombies to go to the prawn. I will take Addison as my date.
But right as he's giving his little speech, all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, the werewolf kids burst into the room because, funny story, the night before, they all snuck into Seabrook High School so they could ambush everybody. And lucky for them, the school has no locks or security of any kind whatsoever. It's like the Descendants Museum of High Schools.
Wolves, stand down.
We werewolves so admire your town, and we just came here to join your school.
They can't join our school.
Technically, the Forbidden Forest is within the school district.
So welcome to Seabrook.
I mean, Addison is so weird. Hello, we are werewolves with poliosis. We've been living in the forest for 500 years and consider all of you our sworn enemies. Can we join your school? Well, I have no follow-up questions. Come on in. But like, remember back in the first movie how zombies going to the same school as humans was like this huge deal or whatever? And in this movie, just like 15 minutes ago, everyone was freaking out because there might be werewolves in the forest. The mayor declared martial law, locked all the gates or whatever, and then 2 scenes later, they make them students at their school because they asked?
Disney Channel movies, they don't always make sense.
Now, as the movie goes on, we meet the 2 main werewolves, Wyatt and Willa, and we start to learn a little more about these kids and what they're all about. So they have these necklace things that give them like their werewolf powers, I guess?
We're nothing like you zombies.
You sort of are. Your necklace is powered, right? Kind of like an organic Z-band?
That necklace keeps you from fully wolfing out?
The opposite. Our moonstones make us our true werewolf selves.
And something else the werewolf kids keep talking about is this thing called the moonstone, which is really important to them and like part of their history or whatever. And maybe it can help us figure out why these kids are wearing clothes made out of wolf skin and hair. Because if you think about it, that's kind of messed up. I mean, that's like if I was walking around with a jacket made out of like my ex-girlfriend or something.
Lies! These history books claim werewolves attacked Seabrook settlers, but they struck first and stole our moonstone.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
There's a lot you don't know.
I know the alarm's gonna go off if you don't check out those books.
What was that? She just took a couple books out of the library and it's like, ba-da-bap. Now, no one can read 101 Steve Urkel love tips and tricks except for me. Ba-da-bap. Anyway, so Zed is still trying to get enough votes to defeat Bucky. Addison's trying to become the new cheer captain, just in case Bucky wins. No offense, Zed. And if that wasn't enough, now they got these werewolf kids just showing up and dancing their way into the middle of everything.
Yeah, that scruffy, super handsome, fine-smelling Wyatt is really into Addison.
You got something you want to share with the rest of the class, Eliza? But anyway, so this Wyatt guy over here seems to have a little something for Addison, you know what I'm saying? And Zed's feeling kind of insecure about it because, like, how is anyone supposed to compete with a guy who lived in a forest his whole life and looks like this? But if I watch Netflix all weekend and forget to take a shower, I just turn into... I mean, come on, how's that even fair?
Zed! What's wrong?
Werewolves. They're not interested in fitting in.
They're into cheer.
No, they're into you, and you're into him. Them.
What?
What? I'm sorry. That was just the most inappropriately intense what I've ever heard.
No, they're into you, and you're into him. Them.
What?
I don't like the new guy, but I think maybe you have a crush on him.
What?
Anyway, so the fight continues.
I'm trying to win an election for my people. For you. So we can go to prom. So we can be accepted.
That's not being accepted. That's being afraid to show who you really are.
Says the girl who wore a wig her whole life.
Because I always felt like an outsider. And even though I might be cheer captain, I still do. You know I don't have a place here.
So we come to find out that Addison's big dilemma, I guess, is that she doesn't feel like she fits in because of her extra blonde hair. I mean, I don't even know how you get out of bed every morning, Addison. Anyway, so this turns into a huge fight and Addison sings a song about how no one can truly understand the struggles of being a pretty blonde girl. And later that night, now that Addison's all emotionally vulnerable, guess who shows up to say hello?
Come with us.
What's so important?
You are.
And that's when we learn the shocking truth that no one could have possibly ever seen coming. I mean, trust me, you're gonna want to sit down for this one. So, turns out there's this prophecy about an all-white-haired werewolf alpha thing, whatever, that's supposed to lead the werewolves to find the moonstone. And Addison is, allegedly, supposed to be that person. And so, of course, they all do some of that good old singing and dancing, and now, for some reason, Addison looks like one of those girls who comes back from Burning Man for the first time and, like, tries to read your aura or whatever. And then she has to make an important decision.
For centuries, this has been set aside for the great Alpha.
A fully charged moonstone is priceless to us, Addison.
If you're truly one of us, when you put it on, you'll be transformed into a werewolf. Part of our pack. Forever.
Can I think about it?
And so, just like that, she takes the necklace and goes home. So the next day, Addison doesn't change her clothes or take a shower, apparently, and her mom and dad now have to go through every parent's worst nightmare when their little girl falls for an emo kid, and the next thing you know, it's all just eyeliner and My Chemical Romance and stacks of notebooks full of just the worst poems you'll ever read. But anyway, later on, Addison meets up with Zed and tells him that she's decided to stay a werewolf, and it's not just a phase, Mom! But Zed secretly steals her necklace out of the box, so for now at least, she has to stay a little old frumpy-dumpy Addison.
I'm ready to become a wolf.
If you really are one.
It's gone.
You lost it? Do you know how precious a moonstone necklace is? If she was the great Alpha, she wouldn't have been so careless.
No, I don't know how.
Stay out of our amazing hair.
I mean, just like, why? Anyway, so eventually, thanks to everyone being in the right place at the right time over and over again, the werewolves come to find out that the Moonstone is underneath the old power plant.
Yeah, the explosion came from Seabrook Power.
They must be testing charges for the demolition tomorrow. Seabrook Power was fueled by a mysterious energy source. That could be your Moonstone, right?
And so the werewolves head on over to stop the demolition and save the Moonstone using their cool werewolf powers. Nope, just kidding, we're dancing again. Oh, and now the cheerleaders are here too. And there's the zombies. Okay. But like, no joke here, there's gotta be at least 25 minutes of this movie that got cut somewhere, because first everyone's scared of werewolves, then the werewolves join the school just randomly one day. Addison might be the destined werewolf leader, they find the Moonstone, and then Addison and Zed are like, we should help the werewolf kids, and the whole school has an instant change of heart for whatever reason, and they're all like, yeah! You know, watching this movie is like trying to explain a dream you had after you took a little too much melatonin, you know what I mean? Anyway, so thanks to the magic of elbow jabs and foot stomps, the power plant is saved. After this, Zed gives Addison her necklace back, and now she can fulfill her destiny and be the true leader of the werewolves.
You're beautiful, Addie.
What was that? Was so sad.
You're beautiful, Addie.
Well, just spit in my face, why don't you? But yeah, so turns out Addison is not a werewolf, and she bought all this eyeliner for no reason. Story of my life, I tell you what. But then, right after this, you'll never guess what happens.
Boss, we got a problem. What? The remote shorted out, and now the detonation timer's running.
No!
So, there you go, kids. The moral of the story is, life sucks. Tell your friends. And then the very end of the movie, all of which happens in the span of like 3.5 minutes. It's the night of the prom, and the werewolves and zombies decide to show up anyway because
breaking rules is super cool.
Anyway, so during the prom, would you believe there's another explosion from the power plant that opens up a cave that leads directly to the Moonstone? Wow, what are the odds of that? And everyone comes together to save it, and they all learn the same lesson they learned back in the first movie already again. So, oh boy, real glad we did this. Yeah, so this movie makes about 0 sense. Like, it's not even just a couple plot holes here and there, just the whole thing is bafflingly nonsensical. Like, they go through all the trouble of introducing all these new characters, but then we learn nothing about them and have no reason to care about anything they're doing. And I mean, the werewolves could have been pretty cool, but like, all they do is just... But all the same, just like with Descendants, I think the world they built definitely has potential, but this is what we got. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So Zed does a rap battle with Bucky, and then Addison's necklace messes with his wristband, and Zed turns into a zombie, and then the whole school is like, oh my goodness, it's a zombie. And so Bucky wins, and now he's the school president. You know, just in case you're like really invested in the story, there you go. You know, something about this movie that I thought was like interesting or whatever is how Addison's whole thing throughout this movie is that she feels like she doesn't belong, she doesn't fit in with anyone or anywhere, and she feels like an outsider. And yet, throughout this movie, multiple times, the entire school just does whatever she says, right? Like when the werewolves are like, I want to join your school, and Addison's like, okay, come on in. Everyone else is like, well, I mean, Addison said it's okay, so I guess it's fine. And then later on, the werewolves are trying to stop the demolition or whatever, and then Addison's like, we need to get the whole school involved, and the whole school's like, okay. Addison sings a song and has this whole thing about how she feels like she doesn't belong anywhere, but everyone just does whatever she says. So I don't know what's going on with you, Addison. Seems like it's all in your head. But you know, something about this movie that reminded me of Descendants, besides a lot of things, but Zombies 2 feels like it's aimed at such a younger audience than the first one was. And like Descendants 2 was the same way, where Descendants 2 came out and they had the talking dog and just like suddenly everyone was acting way more immature than they usually did. And with Zombies 2, it's the same way. It's like, you know, everyone's 2 years older. I mean, the actual characters in the movie, I'm not sure how much time is supposed to have passed, but Zombies 1 came out, you know, 2 years ago. And so now everyone who liked the first movie is 2 years older. The characters are somewhat older than they were before, I assume, because that's how time works. And yet everyone acts like 4 or 5 years younger than they were in the first movie. I mean, of course, no one expects a Disney Channel movie to be like this, you know, mature, like movie that really makes you think about stuff, man. You know, like, I'm not expecting that. Going back and doing some of the older Disney Channel movies from like mid-2000s to like 2011 or 12 or so, they used to have movies that were perfectly watchable and that were definitely aimed at teenagers. And then for some reason, just the last, few years or so, everything just was suddenly aimed at like way younger than what it's supposed to be. It's like all the characters are supposed to be 16, 17 years old, and they all act like they're 10, But whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so that you don't miss any videos from me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Well, here we are. Once again, we've arrived at the end of a big film trilogy. I mean, I've gone through the To All the Boys movies, Kissing Booth movies, Descendants movies, and now we're finally here at the end of all things with Zombies 3. Now, Zombies 3 was supposed to come out over a year ago, but was delayed for a variety of reasons, I'm sure. But all the same, it's here now. So what do you say we put on a pair of our best Velcro shoes and check out the final movie in the smash hit Zombies franchise? I mean, there's no way this movie could be bad, right?
Welcome back to Zebra.
We started off as a perfectly planned community, full of cheer.
Then zombies showed up.
Everything was fine, and then just out of nowhere, zombies showed up and started dancing. It was the weirdest thing. So after giving us a very brief recap of the first two movies, right away we get to the main idea of like what the whole movie is going to be about. But before that, really quick, this video is sponsored by Audible. If you don't know what Audible is by now, Audible is an online service that lets you download audiobooks, audio newspapers, and just like all kinds of spoken word entertainment. If you sign up now, you can start listening with a free 30-day Audible trial, which gets you one free audiobook that you can use for any title in their premium selection and keep forever. Now, on top of the premium selection, Audible also has thousands and thousands of all-you-can-listen audiobooks, original entertainment, and podcasts included in the Audible Plus catalog. Audible Plus is their news service that lets you download and stream as much as you want from thousands of titles, including all Audible original content. Now, Audible originals are exactly what they sound like. Audiobooks are some kind of like audio entertainment thing that you can't find anywhere else, or exclusive versions of books like The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, read by Nick Offerman, for example. I'd recommend you sign up and listen to Hold Your Breath by Wendy Walker. It's like a whodunit mystery story about a psychiatrist interviewing the main character and everyone around her, and slowly starts to piece together this like murder mystery story. Sign up with my link, audible.com/Alex Myers, or text my name Alex Myers to 500-500, start your Audible Plus membership, and start streaming thousands of audiobooks today. Okay, back to the show.
But now we've all learned to live together.
Seabrook is becoming a perfect place.
Well, almost. Monsters still have one big barrier to break through, like getting into college.
But if we win the championship football game tonight, we're going to have our first zombie recruited to college.
And the doors to higher ed will be open to all monsters.
And then they too can get roped into an unpayable student loan scheme and use their master's degree in economics to make $18 an hour. So exciting!
So win tonight's football game and everything in Zebra will be perfect.
So we can't let anything get in our way.
Psst, hey, so I think something might end up getting in their way. But yeah, so if Zed wins the football game that night, then all the socioeconomic issues in the entire town of Seabrook will instantly be solved and no one will have any problems of any kind ever again. So as per usual, we are reintroduced to our main character, Zed the Zombie. And of course, we have everyone's favorite girl with the longest fake eyelashes I've ever seen, Addison.
Hi, I'm Addison. And as cheer captain, it's my duty to support Seabrook. But this is personal. I'm going to Mountain College, and I really need Zed to win tonight's game and join me. So let's cheer our team to victory!
So everyone's a senior in high school now, and as one final hurrah, Addison wants to do a national cheer-off competition thing. And so between that and the football game that night, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a whole lot of singing and dancing in this movie.
I know, I wish we could be cheerleaders forever too. Maybe we should form science so high school never ends. Nah, we just have too much chemistry.
We are so gonna win tonight.
And when we do,
We'll be together forever.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say. Like when you're in high school, it's like, oh, this person is so gorgeous, 10 out of 10, the most perfect person for me. And then you go off to college or whatever, and you're just like, whoops, never mind. But all the same, everything's going wonderful, and nothing could possibly show up and ruin everyone's plans.
Our moonstones are acting weird, Wyatt. Something big is happening.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I had a little too much extra fiber Raisin Bran this morning. No, actually, you'll never believe this, but aliens, of all things, just randomly come down right before the football game is supposed to start.
I'm a recruiter for Mountain College. And we need... I quit! never leave home again!
Wait, don't go! You have to recruit me to Mountain College!
I think you got bigger things to worry about there, my dude. So, watching this giant alien spaceship come down gets everyone so upset and riled up that they sing a song, as you do, about how they're not sure if the aliens are friendly or not. You know, well, there's like cars blowing up and half the town's on fire. And then the aliens themselves come down and, oh my... What? These dudes are literally looking like a Xenon girl of the 21st century right now. What even? What is this?
Search the scout ship.
Precisely what I was thinking.
Yeah, we know, Ellie, because we can read each other's minds.
This is Scout Commander 15-09. I found Utopia, the perfect new planet for our people. I hid the coordinates in the most precious thing in Zebra. The special thing in Zebra.
The file is corrupted.
This is the greatest run I've ever seen. This is like me when I've been sitting in the bathroom for way too long and then my legs fall asleep and then the Uber Eats person rings the doorbell and I'm like, oh crap, gotta get my cheese curds. Anyway, so as you might imagine, the people of Seabrook are a little taken aback by this whole alien invasion thing because they're just so close-minded, don't you know?
It appears these angry beings may not give us their most precious thing willingly. And we'll have to explain our presence without telling them our mission.
Didn't you just say you don't have to talk to each other because you can hear each other's thoughts? Are we just gonna ignore all that?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Take us to your leader.
Your cheerleader. We accept your invitation to the National Cheer-Off.
Oh, it's gonna be one of these movies. The aliens are gonna compete in a cheerleading competition. Oh my goodness. But just to be safe, the police lock up the 3 main aliens, I guess, until they can figure out what's going on.
Great idea, separating the aliens, Principal Lee.
They're probably here to clone me to create an unstoppable cheer force. I mean, who wouldn't want more of me?
I mean, truth be told, I don't even want one of you, so not sure what to tell you there, Bucky. Now, after talking to these aliens for a bit, we come to find out that even though the football game was canceled and therefore Zed could no longer be recruited into college, there still might be a way for him to get accepted and open up the world to monsters everywhere.
What are they doing?
Mountain College has a separate application for an exceptional student scholarship, and it does not specifically prohibit zombies.
Zetsuki. Sakura. Yeah, Sakura. That sounds exactly like me.
Perhaps exceptional means something else in this galaxy.
Believe me, I'm impressive.
You guys like that?
Okay.
I mean, hey, watch me lick my own elbow. Also, like, I don't think that should really be your priority right now. Like, literal space aliens have come down to Earth, and then Zed's like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. Anyway, oh boy, I sure can't wait to share a dorm room with a guy who has night terrors at 3 o'clock in the morning every day and only showers like once a month. But all the same, after some very unnecessary back and forth, the aliens are allowed to stay in Seabrook until the cheer competition is over.
We've decided to let you stay until after the cheer competition, but not a day later.
Thank you, Mayor. We are honored to join your cheer competition.
What is cheer?
Heck if I know. Sounds like a bunch of baloney if you ask me.
Shut up, you're not my real dad. Shut up, you're not my real dad. Shut up.
But since the aliens are going to be in town for a while, I guess that means they'll be working with town leaders the whole time to share their advanced technology with everyone so they can all just... Oh, wait, never mind. They're going to high school. Why? Are they even teenagers? Why are they doing this? They have until the cheer competition to find this precious thing, you know, whatever that means, to find a map to their new home planet, and they spend all their limited time to save their entire race going to high school?
Disney Channel movies, they don't always make sense.
Now, at first, Zed is all for the aliens coming in, but he has to achieve, like, valedictorian status or whatever so that he can hopefully win that exceptional student scholarship thing. But of course, wouldn't you know, the aliens are all, like, super geniuses, and Zed's class rank ends up dropping pretty quick.
The aliens stole all my class rankings.
Chris Wampa.
And beat my athletic records. What? Hey!
Woo-wee, Zed. Alan just obliterated your best time.
You know, I guess I never really noticed this before, but like, Zed's last name is Necrodopoulos. Not only is he a zombie, but he's Greek too. Man, this kid cannot catch a break. But anyway, so Zed is none too thrilled about what Alan the alien's getting up to these days, but it seems like the aliens might need his help for something very important.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry, I really am. You know, as tough as things have been.
Also, ich muss ja schon sagen, das ist... Uff. Das ist schon hart. Oh mein Gott, hallo Rose. Das ist schon hart. Man muss ja schon, also... Es tut auch ein bisschen weh. tut auch ein bisschen. Und ich hab mir alle 3 Filme angeguckt, ne? Ich habe ja auch diesen Film mit den Aliens angeguckt und das ist der schlimmste, meiner Meinung nach. Also der ist völlig abstrus, der ist jenseits von allem. Mr. Danke nochmal für den Resub. Also das ist jenseits von allem. Und ganz ehrlich, wenn ich sowas jemals auf dem Tisch habe beim Verlag, weiß ich nicht. Also, weiß ich jetzt nicht. Bin ich jetzt mal ehrlich, weiß ich nicht. Aber ich meine, die Zombies haben grüne Haare, die Aliens haben blaue Haare. Beim dritten Teil gibt es einen Abspann mit Meerjungfrauen und die haben dann lila Haare. Wieso haben die Werwölfe keine lila Haare oder weiß der? Also es ist schon, also schwierig. Es ist sehr schwierig. Also ja, nun. Das ist schon, also, ja nicht. Ich hätte es anders gemacht, aber Gott, sind wir mal ehrlich, ja nicht. Es ist, also, Zombies, Werwölfe, Aliens, mir fehlen da noch ein Stück weit die Vampire, mir fehlen ein Stück weit die Hexen. Ich bin auch sehr enttäuscht, dass nicht irgendwo ein Einhorn rumfliegt oder so. Also es ist schon. Gutes Storytelling geht ein bisschen anders, ne? Schon schwierig. So. Okay, noch Update-Zeit. Aber ich würde sagen, wir machen direkt weiter. Danach schauen wir uns die anderen Sachen an, weil ich mag einfach die Animationen, das Ganze. Ich liebe es. Ich liebe es.
For zombies, we've always had Zombie Town. Is there anything I can do?
You would help us?
With our Luma lenses, we probed all the minds of Seabrook.
Mind probes? Why would you do that?
Well, nobody was really open to the other kind of probe we had, except Addison, who was really enthusiastic about it for some reason.
So there is something you can do for us. This image appears in many scans. What is it?
That is the Moonstone. It is the most precious thing in Seabrook.
And so the aliens sneak over and check out the werewolf moonstone to scan it and see if it's what they're looking for, but turns out, no, it's not, and this was all just a big old waste of time. Now, in the middle of all this alien, whose name is Aspen, just kinda randomly out of nowhere starts to develop a crush on Zed and decides it's a great idea to tell Addison about it.
Oh, great leader of cheer, I need your help.
Yeah, of course.
I have a feeling I cannot define. My palms are sweaty and it feels like space moths are in my stomach.
Oh yeah, same thing happened to me after I ate a whole bag of sugarless gummy bears, so trust me, you're in for a heck of a weekend.
I think you have a crush, Aspen. It's when you like someone. You know, love.
Who's the lucky person?
Zed. I love Zed.
Anyway, so after the aliens find out that the moonstone is not what they're looking for, the werewolves find out about what they were doing with it, and wouldn't you know, they don't really appreciate the aliens messing with the thing that, gives them life and stuff.
Someone's taken down our force field. And someone's been eating our froyo. And it's all melted. The hunt is on!
I'm sorry. It's like when 6-year-olds pretend to be like lions and horses, or like when I pretend to be a functioning member of society. Either way, it's really hard to watch. Now, to help them escape the werewolf hunt, and by hunt, of course, I mean they're just dancing around the whole time, the mothership beams up all the aliens, which for some strange, inexplicable reason, oh my god, it also beams up Addison.
This. Oh!
Sorry. Reflexes.
What are you doing here?
I got beamed up. What are you doing here?
Aspen asked if I could help with my knowledge of Seabrook.
Oh, they're trying to spend alone time with you.
Alone time? Why? Oh, okay, well, I do have universal appeal.
No, do not wink at me, sir. You take that back right now. So since Addison just happened to randomly be beamed aboard the spaceship, the aliens just decide to tell her everything about everything that's going on with them and how they're looking for a secret map to a new planet that's hidden in the most precious thing in Seabrook. Now, I'm telling you right this second, okay? If this precious thing turns out to be like friendship or something, I'm gonna lose it. Anyway, so we find out that the aliens have not heard the entire message from the scout yet because of some kind of glitch or whatever. But hey, leave it to Zed to do whatever he does.
Years ago, our scout crashed in Seabrook and hid a map to Utopia. We came here to find it.
Wait, I thought you said you were here for cheer.
Commander.
Do not touch. We're repairing the files of our scouts' logs.
With no success. I mean, have you guys tried banging?
Banging? You can't just bang. Ow! Oh, that seems to have worked.
Oh, that's what you meant. So now that it's all fixed, they can finally listen to the entire message, and I'm sure it's all just one big coincidence that Addison happens to be here at this exact moment.
For centuries, we have been without a home, but I found Utopia, the perfect new planet for our people. I hid the coordinates in the most precious thing in Seabrook. My scout ship crashed on this planet, but with no ship to take me home, I was forced to hide my true identity.
I know how that feels.
Addison, my dude, your biggest trial in life is having really blonde hair and eyebrows that don't match. Okay, sit this one out. Not everything's about you.
And I discovered my passion, cheerleading. I even created a trophy.
The Seabrook Cup.
But no longer in contact with our people. My hair grew white, and I lost my stardust powers. And we named our firstborn Amashanta, but we always called her Missy.
That's my mom's name.
That's right, everybody. Would you believe? Turns out Addison is half alien, or I guess quarter alien, technically, which we all should have really seen coming, you know? I mean, her name does start with an A, like all the other ones, and apparently her mom's real name is, like, a placenta or something.
Amashanta.
Right, yeah, sure, okay, because that sounds so much better. And just like what we've seen over and over in the last two movies, once again, Addison completely changes everything about her personality to match whatever new friend group she's discovered.
I want to be a cheerleader. I'm ready to become a wolf. I am an alien.
But hey, it's different this time, all right? Because she definitely belongs with these kids for real, okay? It's not just a face, Mom. And then, wouldn't you know, she sings a song about how she finally found where she belongs, and now suddenly all of her problems have gone away. But you know, I'm a little confused about the messaging of this movie because, like, usually with Disney Channel movies, they make a huge point about, like, forging your own path and standing out no matter what anyone else thinks. Be true to yourself, etc., etc. But then in these movies with Addison, it's just, like, the exact opposite.
Maybe, in college, one special girl with white hair won't stand out.
And maybe she'll even find a place where she belongs.
Actually, I need to find out where I belong and just stay there. You know, I should only be my unique self with other people who are exactly like me. Anyway, so then it's time for the big cheer-off competition. One thing leads to another, and the werewolves end up finding out that the aliens are actually here to do something other than cheerleading. And so now the werewolves are all riled up and ready to use their cool wolf powers to do more dance battles.
The aliens are liars. They've come to take what's ours. We should have never let Addison welcome in those outsiders. Step back, Zed.
So much passion.
She wants to rip your heart out.
She can have it.
Okay, hold on just a gosh darn second there, Aspen. First of all, get in line. Second of all, weren't you in love with Zed like 5 minutes ago? Here, take this Capri Sun full of C4 and calm down. So somehow Addison's team wins the trophy cup thing despite doing like the lamest cheer routine I've ever seen. Yeah, okay, mayor's daughter, wink wink, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, she gives the cup to the aliens who hurry outside to get beamed up by their mothership before the werewolves can dance them to death.
Freeze! There you are!
Beam us up, mothership, now! Wolves, attack!
Use our moonstone.
Something's wrong. Critical systems failure.
But like, why do they even need to do all this in the first place just to get the trophy? Like, they don't actually have to win the cup. They just have to scan it for like 4 seconds. And Addison knows all this and literally could have just asked her mom, the mayor of Seabrook, to let them have it for 1 minute and problem solved. This movie could have been over in 5 minutes.
Disney Channel movies, why do I do this to myself?
But that's when Addison suddenly unlocks all of her new powers and achieves her final form on her never-ending quest to base her entire personality on whatever's happening around her at the time.
Addison is one of us.
I know. Sweetie, I've always known.
You lied to me?
Oh, honey, trust me, this doesn't even crack the top 10. If you only knew half the things I did in high school and college before I met your father, I am so glad we did not have social media back then.
Grandma always called you her most precious thing.
Wait. She said I was her what?
No, the coordinates are not here. This is not the map.
That's because the map isn't a what. It's a who.
Wait, hold on a second. Grandma's precious thing was Addison and not like, you know, her own daughter? Oh, my precious perfect angel, the love of my life. But not you though, honey. I mean, come on. You were conceived in the back of a Honda Accord, okay? Let's be real here. But all the same, now that she's an alien, she completely throws away her entire life up to now and decides to leave with the aliens because what else is she supposed to do? Live her life the way she wants? Get out of here. So they all say their goodbyes and sing a song or two, and then Addison flies away. And then she and all the aliens are standing around and just randomly have this bizarrely existential conversation about the meaning of life or whatever.
Conflict isn't always bad. Being challenged sometimes pushes us to be better.
No one spoke up while our planet suffered. All because we didn't want to create disharmony.
Unity isn't sameness. Love is powerful. It can handle disagreements.
I know where my grandma wanted her people to live. The most perfectly imperfect place there is.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yes. You have found our new home.
Okay, but like, didn't your grandma risk everything to find the perfect utopia planet for all of you? Like, aren't you just gonna maybe check it out first? Just take a little peek real quick? But yeah, so the aliens turn right around and come right back to live in Seabrook after we just sang all these songs about the undying love and friendship or whatever. Well, gee, thanks for nothing, Addison. It's like when your friend breaks up with the person they're dating, and you spend all weekend telling them how, like, you never liked that piece of garbage anyway, and they're so much better off now. And then they get back together and you have to pretend like you didn't just say all that. Also, just in case you were really invested in the story here, Zed does indeed get into college, because back during the whole cheer-off part, he got that very special phone call everyone hopes to get.
Yes, this is he. This is I. This is Zed Necrodopoulos.
Yeah, this is Cinnamon. I think you might want to get tested. And so, just like that, what do you know? Every conceivable problem in the town of Seabrook has been solved, and now they have mermaids, and everyone can go to college, even redheads. And that's pretty much where the movie ends. Something about these zombies movies that really stands out to me is how short they are, but like they try to cram so much into 90 minutes minus the songs, and like so much happens off screen that the characters just have to like tell us about later.
What are you doing here?
I got beamed up. What are you doing here?
Aspen asked if I could help with my knowledge of Seabrook.
Oh.
Also, Addison's character arc is just the funniest thing to me. Like, in the first movie, the zombies are a literal lower class of people fighting for their right to live in the same town. And Addison's like, wow, this is literally just like my life. And then the second movie, the werewolves show up and they're like, our home was invaded and our land was stolen and we've come for revenge. And somehow Addison's like, OMG, this is actually totally about me right now. And finally, in the third movie, okay, aliens have lost their home planet. They're searching for a new one. And right out the gate, first thing Addison's like, oh boy, can't wait to make this about me again. Like, Addison has no personality except whatever the big issue is around her. And somehow she just has to make it all about her and her hair. But yeah, honestly, this end of the trilogy was probably the worst one for me. Like, I felt like it was trying to do way too much in too short a time. And like, everyone's motivations for what they're doing and why just like don't make any sense. I mean, Disney Channel movies are always very silly anyway, but in this one, it's like they establish a whole bunch of world logic and then they just decide that none of it actually matters anyway. It's a very pretty movie though. I mean, it looks really nice. So there's that, I guess. So in tandem with this movie and this video coming out, I actually did an interview with Pierce Joza, who plays Wyatt, like one of the main werewolves in the Zombies franchise. And so I did a little interview podcast with him, and here's a little snippet of it, but the link to it is down below if you're interested.
As you say, it's all just in good fun. Like I would never be like, this is garbage, and if you are in this movie, you should be embarrassed, you know, like, but it's just, I mean, especially with Disney Channel movies, like you of all people being in 2 of them now, I guess, at least, right? Maybe more, I don't know. But like, you know, like they're very silly, right?
Of course, they're DComs, man. They're, you know, I think honestly, I think I'm in a unique, kind of a lucky position. I started with Disney on the show called Lab Rats, which was.
You were in Lab Rats? Oh my goodness.
Dude, I played the 4th brother at the end of the season. Yeah, at the end of the 4th season, I was like the surprise, like they have a 4th brother, they have another brother, and I got that part. Gosh, I can't remember. I remember I got booked for that part, but nobody told me. Like my agents and managers like forgot to tell me that like I got the part, and so I got a call 2 hours after I was supposed to be on set for that, and they're like, "Where are you?"
Back on topic. Zombies 3. Okay, important question. Who is your least favorite cast member? No, I'm just kidding.
Meg Donnelly. I'm kidding. I knew it because we're really good friends. You're not even gonna believe me when I say this, but Zombies is actually, sometimes it is really rare to have a cast that all gets along.
Okay, also das brauchen wir jetzt nicht anhören. Also es ist, ich habe keine Worte dafür. Hallo Lauriel. Ich würde sagen, wir gehen jetzt einfach mal weiter zu unserem Freund, den Freundin. Entschuldigung. Ich mag die. Ich mag die Filme. Deswegen bin ich mal gespannt, was er daraus gemacht hat. Ich mag halt auch dieses Animieren und das Drum und Dran. Also es ist schon cool. Deswegen lehnen wir uns zurück und genießen die Show.
You know, ever since High School Musical 1, Disney Channel's been pumping out musical movies pretty much every year, it seems like. Now, so far, I've talked about the High School Musical and Camp Rock series, but this week, I thought I'd take a look at the most recent Disney musical series or whatever, Descendants. Now, the first Descendants movie came out in 2015, and it's actually one of Disney Channel's most watched movies ever, putting it up there with High School Musical 2 and Teen Beach Movie? I should probably check that one out sometime. But yeah, so this movie's gotta be a masterpiece, right? Let's check it out. The movie starts out by introducing us to this kind of hodgepodge world of Disney characters.
Lieber High School Musical? Wobei, wir schauen alles an, weil ich muss ja noch ein bisschen was schaffen heute. Tut mir leid, Adiana. Aber die Filme sind echt gut. Natürlich gibt es ein Happy End. So mal. Es wird doch viel gesungen. Sehr viel gesungen. Wirklich viel gesungen. Mein Gott, es wird so viel gesungen. Okay, dann bis gleich.
Once upon a time, long, long ago. Well, more like 20 years ago. Belle married her beast.
Wait a second here. You're telling me 20 years ago, the Beast looked like that? Whatever happened to this guy? Looks like Belle got the old Tinder switcheroo, you know what I mean? See, that's why you gotta be careful. You think you're talking to a guy with a perfect jawline and he's telling you all about his singing teapots or whatever, and then BAM! Turns out it was just some divorced high school math teacher the whole time. Anyway, so the king's son, Ben, will somehow become the new king when he turns 16, which I'm pretty sure that's not how any of this works, especially since his dad was apparently elected king.
Yeah, so instead of a honeymoon, Beast united all of the kingdoms and got himself elected King of the United States of Oregon.
You know, I got a lot of questions about the socioeconomics of this world. Whatever, let's move on.
He rounded up all the villains and sidekicks, basically all the really interesting people, and he booted them off to the Isle of the Lost with a magical barrier to keep them there.
Anyway, so Ben wants to release some of the Disney villain kids from the Island of the Lost and let them come to his high school. Because when you see a 2008 Justin Bieber haircut in 2015, okay, you know this guy's a risk taker. So here is where the movie actually gets going. We flash sideways over to the island and we get our first look at who the bad kids are.
Oh, there's news! I buried the lead. You four have been chosen to go to a different school. In Oregon.
What?
But yeah, so this is the Island of the Lost, which kind of just looks like if you crossed Hook with Newsies, but all the songs are dubstep for goodness knows what reason. Anyway, so turns out these are the kids that get to leave the island and hang out with Ben and his cool hair. We have Mal, Maleficent's daughter, Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil, Jay, the son of Jafar, and Evie, the daughter of Evil Queen. And of course, being who they are, wouldn't you be shocked to learn that there's maybe a little something more going on behind this whole thing?
You will go, you will find the fairy godmother, and you will bring me back her magic wand.
What's in it for us?
It's all about you and me, baby. Do you enjoy watching innocent people suffer?
Well, yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Well, then get me the wand, and you and I can see all that and so much more.
So long story short, the kids get picked up in a magic limo and taken to the Oregon Prep School, where they're greeted by Ben, the kid from before, the fairy godmother.
I'm fairy godmother, headmistress.
The fairy godmother? As in bippity-boppity-boo?
That was a long time ago. And as I always say, don't focus on the past or you'll miss the future.
Yeah, you should probably stop saying it like that. And we also meet Ben's girlfriend, Princess Audrey, who smiles way more than any person ever should. Like, I mean, seriously, this is the face you make when someone tells you to smile, you know, and you're just like, is this good enough for you?
This is Audrey.
Princess Audrey, his girlfriend. Right, Benny Boo? Hey, you're Maleficent's daughter, aren't you? Yeah, you know what? I totally do not blame you for your mother trying to kill my parents and stuff.
Oh, my mom's Aurora. Sleeping Beauty.
Anyway, so after this, the kids get tours of their new dorm rooms and everything. And of course, you know, they don't like them because they're all nice and clean and gross. But they got more important things to worry about, all right? They gotta find the fairy godmother's magic wand, and I assume a whole lot of baby powder, because, I mean, they're wearing these, like, leather polyester outfits for the entire movie, so, you know, it's gotta be quite the adventure going on over there. Now, thanks to the power of the internet, they find out that the magic wand is being held in a museum nearby. So they make their way over to the museum, and we get all kinds of cool Disney Easter eggs, like the guard being put to sleep by having him prick his finger on the magic spindle thing.
Prick the finger, prick it deep, send my enemy off to sleep.
But like, as I recall, the only way to wake someone up from this spell is with a kiss, right? So like, the next day at work's gotta be real awkward. So, you're gonna do it? No? You? Nope. Well, I guess this is goodbye, Jerry. Anyway, so they find the wand and try to take it, which sets off the alarm, but they all manage to escape just in time, which is really impressive because, like, how do you even run in these outfits? Now, the next day is the kids' first day at school. And of course, you know, things start out a little awkward.
If someone hands you a crying baby, do you A, curse it, B, lock it in a tower, C, give it a bottle, or D, carve out its heart?
But as luck would have it, Mal runs into Jane, the fairy godmother's daughter, and she pretends to be her friend and gives her nice hair, you know, the foundation for any good friendship, as I always say, in hopes that she will somehow help get the wand, I guess.
Do my nose.
Oh, I can't. Not like your mom, with her wand.
She doesn't use the wand anymore.
What a rip. That's the face! Yeah. Oh, Mother. I just don't understand why you can't make me beautiful, too.
Think it would work?
Yeah. And hey, invite me.
Anyway, so while this is all going on, the other characters have their own little adventures, like Evie starts to have a thing for Prince Charming's son, aka Prince Jay starts playing whatever this sport is, and Carlos gets scared by a dog.
Why are you holding him? He's gonna attack you! Carlos, you've never actually met a dog, have you? You're a good boy, aren't you? I guess you guys have it pretty rough on the island.
Let's just say we don't get a lot of belly rubs.
Well, I would certainly hope not. What's going on in this movie? Or there's this part later on where, like, another girl sees what Mal did for Jane, and of course, you know, she wants to be cool too now.
I love it. You too. It's just... Now I'm cool.
What? That's all it takes? I've been doing it wrong this whole time? Anyway, so later in the movie, we learn that during the prince's coronation ceremony, you know, when he actually becomes king, the fairy godmother is going to use the magic wand for something, and everyone gets to attend. So finally, this is their chance to get the wand and do whatever their plan is, but there's just one little problem.
Is it true that we all get to go to your coronation?
Yeah, the whole school goes.
Do you think that it's a possibility that the four of us could stand in the front row next to the fairy godmother just so we could soak up all that goodness?
I wish you could. Up front, it's just me, my folks, and my girlfriend.
Now, after hearing this, Mal's like, "What's that, girlfriend you say? I'll be right back." And goes off to the kitchen to start making a love cookie to try and brainwash Ben into dumping Audrey and falling in love with Mal instead, which I feel is completely unnecessary, because let me tell you, okay, when I was 16, if some cute girl with purple hair came up and gave me a cookie, I mean, it just would have been all over for me. Anyway, so she makes the cookie and gives it to Ben.
No, hey.
How are they?
They're good. They're great. They're amazing, you know? The chocolate, the chocolate chips, I'm sorry.
See, that's why you don't go for the sugar-free kind, all right? Just one bite and the rest of your day is ruined.
Mal, have you always had those little golden flecks in your eyes? How you feeling, bro?
Okay, Sorry, just real quick question here, guys. What's going on with Jay over here? Is he okay? But anyway, so turns out the cookie worked maybe a little too well, and now Ben loves Mal so gosh darn much he just has to sing about it. You know, like you do. So now that Ben is like so in love with Mal or whatever, he asks her out on a date. But not just a date, okay? It's like a date, you know what I mean? So to prepare for this, Evie helps Mal look less like herself. Cause you know, if you're gonna make a movie like this, you gotta have a makeover scene.
I know.
For the first time, I understand the difference between pretty and beautiful.
Anyway, so then they go on this super romantic date through the forest, and they have like a picnic by the lake that Ben set up beforehand, and look at me, I'm Ben, I'm so perfect. So out of nowhere, Ben's just like, hey Mal, do you want to watch me swim? And then Mal's like, nah, I'm good. But then she takes one look at his abs, and it's all like... And she sings a song about how she's falling in love with him or whatever. But you know, to be fair, I did the same thing when I was in high school, except take guy with abs and replace him with girl who walked by me in the hallway once. But still, after this, Ben lets us all know that he has no idea how first dates work and just throws out one of these.
Mal, I told you that I loved you. What about you?
Well, you know, I wouldn't say love, but sure, I'm a pretty big fan of myself, all things considered, so... Wait, what was the question? Anyway, so skipping ahead a little bit, it's the day of the coronation, and finally time to get that magic wand. Now, believe it or not, Mal's not completely evil, and she plans to undo her love spell on Ben before the whole, like, taking over the world thing happens, because otherwise, you know, that'd be kind of rude.
I have something for you.
For me?
Yeah. It's just for later.
Always thinking. But I can't wait.
No!
This is really good.
Would you say that you're still in with it? That you have very strong feelings for me?
Let's give the anti-love potion a few minutes to take effect.
What? What? You knew?
Yeah, so turns out the love spell wore off a long time ago. But like I said, a cute girl with purple hair who gives you cookies and muffins? Like, I mean, come on, what am I gonna do, say no? Anyway, so the coronation starts, you know, big fancy ceremony and all that. But I gotta say, I know that Disney Channel doesn't have the biggest budgets or whatever, but like, how has their green screen technology not gotten any better since like Halloween Town 1? What's going on over there, guys? Anyway, so the fairy godmother takes out her magic wand, Mal grabs it and blasts open the barrier on the island and unleashes all the Disney villains into... What's that now? No. You're kidding.
Child, what are you doing? If you won't make me beautiful, I'll do it myself.
Huh. Well, isn't that something? So let me just get this straight here. Jane wants to be pretty, and so naturally, of course, that means the wand is therefore going to destroy the barrier on the island? Just wham bam bibbidi bow, there you go. Like, how exactly does magic work in this world? And on top of that, like, what even was Jane's plan here? She's just gonna, like, make herself all purty in front of everyone, as if her mom isn't just gonna undo the spell 5 seconds later anyway? And everyone already knows what she looks like, so... Huh?
Disney Channel movies, they don't always make sense.
Anyway, so Mal takes the wand away from Jane, and she's about to do, you know, whatever she's gonna do with it, but that's when things take a turn.
I think I want to be good.
You are good.
How do you know that?
Because I'm listening to my heart.
I want to listen to my heart, too.
Have you ever noticed that that's like the solution to every problem in every Disney movie? But like, I tried that once and I did not get very far. Hey, you remember that time you went to Starbucks and the barista said, enjoy your drink, and you said, yeah, you too? Why don't we just think about that for 12 hours? Or how about that time in high school when Jessica randomly asked if you wanted to come over and study, and you said, no thanks, I studied yesterday? Whoops. Sure hope you weren't planning on sleeping tonight. So in the end, Mal and the other kids decide that being good is cool and friendship is magic and everybody fist bumps for some reason, and they all live happily ever after until 10 seconds later. You know, I gotta hand it to you, Disney Channel. Somehow, you always make your villains the most obnoxious people ever. Hats off to you. Anyway, so Mal tries to convince her mom that taking over the world and stuff might not be the best idea.
I've had years and years and years and years of practice being evil. You'll get there.
No, I will not. Love is not weak or ridiculous. It's actually really amazing.
Okay, Mal, let's just hold on for a second here. You're like, what, 16? How about we circle back in like 10 years after you've dated your fourth guy who thinks that grinding his own coffee is a personality, and we can talk about it then, all right? Anyway, so in the end, Mal uses the power of love, yes, really, to turn her mom into a baby lizard, and then she gives the wand back and everyone sings and dances and all that Disney stuff. Now, this movie is a musical, right? But I don't know. The songs are so few and far between that it's actually kind of jarring when suddenly everyone starts singing and then you're like, oh, right, yeah, this again. This movie's also full of what I like to call Disney Channel personality. What I mean is like all the characters are supposed to be around like 16 or whatever, right? And yet they all act like they're maybe 10? I mean, like, if this was a kid's movie with like kids in it, this would be fine. But like 16? Anyway, so with the third Descendants movie coming out this August, I guess we'll just have to check out the second one too sometime soon. So, you know, look forward to that, I guess. So last week I did Lizzie McGuire, and, you know, this week I'm doing Descendants. And one thing I thought was really interesting is like going back to Lizzie McGuire.
Also, ich mag die Filme sehr. Deswegen macht es mir auch nicht viel aus, weil das waren auch die gleichen Punkte, die ich angemerkt habe. Aber man muss schon sagen,
You know, there's just
es ist schon, also, es ist nicht von der Hand zu weisen, dass das ein bisschen schwierig ist, ne? Diana, wir gucken gleich das Video von 2 und 3 noch an, also die Videos von 2 und 3. Und dann würde ich sagen, schauen wir uns die High School Musical Besprechungen an. Ich liebe seine Animationen. Die sind großartig und ja, ich bin müde. Ich bin sehr, sehr müde. Und wie gesagt, ich mag die Filme, ich mag sie wirklich sehr. Man merkt allerdings auch ein bisschen, dass sie vielleicht, ja, ne? Genau. Und ja, natürlich, wenn man es nicht gesehen hat, ist es Spoilering, Spoiler, ich geb's auf. Spoilert, so, jetzt deutsche Sprache. Aber ich finde, die sind wirklich so gut gemacht von ihm. Also Alex Myers ist ein großartiger Dude. Und das ist jetzt hier das Problem. Ich muss mir das mal genauer anschauen, was hier passiert. Hallo, Rani! Ich muss aber ganz ehrlich sagen, ich werde mir noch ein paar Disney-Trilogien, Dreiteiler anschauen, wenn ich heute Abend auf dem Sofa liege und vor mich hin röchel. Und guck dann auch mal, was so passiert. Und bin mal gespannt. Also der gute Alex, da hat er ja so ein bisschen was gemacht, gell? Würde sagen, ich muss mal hier kurz muten, sonst blökt rein. Wir haben noch den Monster High Movie. Der hat auch schon School of Good and Evil gemacht. Das wollte ich mir aber noch anschauen, weil ich liebe die Buchreihe, deswegen muss ich da ein bisschen aufpassen. Dann haben wir, was haben wir denn hier? Riverdale hat er auch gemacht. Oh Gott, das habe ich gar nicht gesehen. Dann Stranger Things. 365 Tage hat er auch gemacht. Oh mein Gott. Dann Riverdale. Das braucht, kennt noch jemand Radio Rebel? Ja, High School Musical ist quasi. Ja, also. Kam damals, also wir suchen das raus. Also ich erspare euch den ganzen Stress, also die verschwendete Lebenszeit. Denn, ja, also die Filme sind jetzt nicht so. Gut, das ist jetzt nicht schwer, besser zu sein als die Zombie-Dinger da, ne? Also das muss man jetzt mal schon sagen. Also, ne? High School Musical ist schon hart. Oh, ich sag's nochmal, der hat auch Vampire Diaries gemacht. Und Buffy! Oh mein Gott, der hat auch Buffy gemacht. Wie geil. Ich muss ein paar Sachen hier aufmachen. Die müssen wir uns zusammen anschauen. So, das ist der Dreier. Wo ist der Einser? Da ist der Einser. Oh, der hat auch hier Dingensbumsens gemacht. The Kissing Booth. Und To All the Boys I Loved Before. Okay. Ja, der hat auch Buffy gemacht. Ich habe jetzt mal alles aufgemacht, was wir noch anschauen können heute. Einfach aufgrund dessen, dass ich ja heute tatsächlich bisschen Beschallung brauche, weil es mir nicht so gut geht. Das heißt, liebe Aliana, wir werden noch 2 Videos anschauen, bevor du wieder entspannt dazukommen kannst, ohne dich spoilern zu lassen. Ich bin sehr gespannt auf das Buffy-Video. Ich bin sehr gespannt auf High School Musical. Ich bin auch sehr gespannt auf die anderen beiden Descendants-Filme. Weil ich muss ganz ehrlich zugeben, den zweiten fand ich nicht so gut. Aber ich mag die Storys trotzdem. Ich bin voll der Disney, also beziehungsweise der Märchenfan. Deswegen war das für mich auf jeden Fall eine Bereicherung. Und ich muss auch ganz echt zugeben, ich mag sie mehr als High School Musical. Gut, das ist nicht schwierig. Ich bin zwar auch mit High School Musical aufgewachsen, beziehungsweise aufgewachsen. Ich war 14, 15, 16 und habe es mir trotzdem angeguckt. Ja. Ja, kenne ich. Ich habe es aber noch nicht gelesen. Die stehen bei mir auf der Liste. Also von der, es gibt die Descendants-Bücher, es gibt die Villains-Bücher. Ich habe beide Buchreihen, beziehungsweise es gibt ja 3. Das können wir uns nachher noch anschauen, bevor ich mich nachher geschlagen aufs Sofa lege. Es gibt da ja ein bisschen, ne? Es gibt da ja ein bisschen was. Guck mal nachher mal rein. Da gibt es ja auch unterschiedliche, sagst du mir, Meinungen dazu den Büchern. Und da bin ich mal gespannt, was wir da so finden. So. Und diese Gesangsszene. Oh Gottes Willen. Ich glaube, das wäre furchtbar. Ja, das ist ja, ich meine ja, es gibt die Twisted Tales, es gibt die Villains und es gibt die Descendants. Deswegen ist jetzt so, oh shit. So die Frage. Die Twisted Tales wollte ich mir auf jeden Fall anschauen. Die Villains, da streiche ich noch drum rum, da weiß ich es noch nicht. Und die Descendants streiche ich auch drum rum. Aber gut, meine Lieben. Seid ihr bereit für die nächste Runde Besprechungen?
Something about Disney Channel movies, like they're so bad, but they're still so good at the same time. I don't know how they do it.
Man sollte auf jeden Fall dann auch die Szene wechseln. Fällt mir hier gerade ein. Also, ja. Gut. Gut, dass wir drüber gesprochen haben.
You know, there's just something about Disney Channel movies, like they're so bad, but they're still so good at the same time. I don't know how they do it, but it's actually kind of impressive. Anyway, last month I made a video about the first Descendants movie, which turns out was actually one of Disney Channel's most popular movies ever. Now, 2 years after the first one, in 2017, Descendants 2 came out, and was their most popular movie since the first one, so, you know, I guess the swap just didn't do it for you, huh? But anyway, I figured it was about time I head back to Auradon and see what kind of wacky adventures everyone's gonna get into this time. Right in the beginning of the movie, we meet our good old friend Mal, who's looking a little different than she did in the first movie. I mean, you know, it's a tale as old as time, right? Girl meets boy, they fall in love, and then BAM! No more zippers. Anyway, Mal gets taken away by Evie to get ready for the upcoming Royal Cotillion. Now, this cotillion is really just like a fancy ceremony thing, where Mal is going to become an official lady of the court, whatever that means. But here's the thing, okay? Ever since Mal started dating Ben's abs, she has to go to all these dinners and meetings and just all those things you have to do when your boyfriend looks like, you know, what if Justin Bieber took a shower. But deep down, she feels like something isn't quite right.
You don't ever miss running wild and just breaking all the rules? Like stealing and lying and fighting? Yeah. No. What? Why would we?
No, I totally get where Mal's coming from. I mean, I wish I could go back to a time when life was exciting and I was just so happy every day because I didn't know what calories were yet. So I'm with you, Mal. But also, it's not like Ben's making things any easier.
I have a little surprise for you.
Again? Wow. That's like every day now.
Or every other day. Even days. Because you're even more perfect than I thought.
Ben, I want to like you, but you can't just say things like that, okay? Anyway, after this, we meet up with Carlos, who finally hit puberty, and Jay has a cool purse now. Now, here's the thing. Carlos wants to ask Jane to the cotillion dance thing, but of course that means he'd actually have to talk to her. And let me tell you, there is nothing scarier than asking a girl out when you're 16. Cause like, what if she says no, and then instead of going to homecoming, you just spend the whole night eating Junior Mints and watching The Little Mermaid, sing-along edition. Anyway, so Carlos keeps trying to ask Jane out, but every time he does, it's just like, hey Jane, do you wanna... So he begs Mal to make him like a truth gummy that's gonna make him say how he really feels about a lot of things, but also how he feels about Jane.
So, this thing will make me say what I really feel to Jane.
Yeah, I mean, this is a truth gummy, so.
Perfect.
Hold on, though. Are you sure that you want to be taking this? because this is gonna make you say the truth.
Which I gotta say sounds like the worst idea.
Oh, hey, Carlos. Heard you wanted to ask me something.
Yeah, you ever notice how in a Goofy movie, Roxanne and her dad are completely different kinds of dog? Like, what's up with that? Unless her mom remarried or something, which means Roxanne's living with her deadbeat stepdad? Now, that's kind of dark if you think about it. Like, how come we never learn anything about her? And then in the second movie, she's not even there? Like, what's going on with that? Also, you want to go to prom? Anyway, back to the movie.
I'll take my chances, I guess.
Okay. Whoa! Bad dog.
Man, that thing was nasty.
Oh, it's a talking dog movie now. Oh. So after this, we cut over to the Island of the Lost. And here we meet some new characters who are probably going to cause trouble, I assume.
That snooty little witch who grabbed everything she wanted and left me nothing.
Look, we have her turf now. They can stay in Boredom.
Harry, that's her turf now. And I want it too. Son of Hook, son of Gaston, and me, most of all, daughter of Ursula.
Okay, first of all, thank you for the exposition. Second, I mean, son of Hook, I get that. Son of Gaston? Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, there's probably a lot of those he doesn't even know about, you know what I'm saying? But daughter of Ursula? I mean, how? Like, who? You know, I got a whole list of questions here, but let's just move on. Anyway, so this girl is Uma, and she's angry because Mal and Evie and all them get to live in Auradon, but she's just stuck here on the island. In fact, she's so upset she sings a song about it, okay? That's how you know things are getting serious. Now, flashing sideways over to Mal, she and Ben are having a picnic, which is apparently all there is to do in Auradon, and Ben's really impressed that Mal was able to make all this stuff in like half an hour. But that's when he learns the truth.
Do you have a napkin or something?
I do. Yeah. I packed some.
Oh,
I think I stowed them away. I can grab them.
What's this? Speed reading spell. Blonde hair spell. Cooking spell.
You know, Mal's mom sure gave her like the lamest spell book. Oh, I can change my hair color and make food appear out of nowhere. Actually, never mind. That sounds awesome. Anyway, so Ben finds out Mal's been using magic, which I guess is like a no-no, and he's not too happy about it.
You've been keeping secrets and lying to me.
I'm a big fake, okay? This is fake. This is fake. This is who I really am.
You're a peanut butter sandwich? I think this is one of those metaphors that sounds way better in your head, you know what I mean? Now, Mal's upset because she just can't seem to fit in with Auradon, and she has to keep pretending to be all perfect all the time. So, she decides to pack her things and head back to the island of the everyone has leather pants. Now, when Ben hears about Mal, he tries to come up with a plan to go to the island and win back the girl of his dreams.
This is my fault. This is my fault. I blew it. I have to go there and apologize. I have to go there and beg her to come back.
And you'll never find her. You need to know the isle and how it works, and you have to take me with you.
Yes.
And we'll bring the boys too, because they're safety members, and none of us is really too popular over there right now.
And of course, this means Evie gets to play dress up and gives Ben all these cool zippers. And then they teach him how to walk like this for some reason. And finally, it's time to go get Mal. So they make their way over to her secret clubhouse, and Ben goes to apologize.
At least I don't see a picture of me with horns.
I mean, I knew things were getting tough for you, but I didn't know they were, I'm gonna give bangs a try level of bad. You know, this is kind of one of those things like every girl goes through where for some reason you think you might want bangs, and then you get them and crap, now you look like Dora the Explorer. So then you grow them back out for the next like 6 months, and finally when you're feeling good about yourself, and one night while you're asleep, this little fairy flies into your room and just whispers in your ear, but what if you got bangs again? Anyway, the scene continues.
Mal, I'm so sorry about our fight. Please come home.
I'm such a terrible influence.
Don't quit us, Mal. The people love you. I love you.
Now, naturally, Ben's having some sad feelings and goes off on his own. But that's when he gets kidnapped by this guy, Harry, son of Hook, and taken to Uma's place. So now Mal has to go save the guy that she just rejected like 5 seconds ago.
I'm back. Loser, party of one. Right this way, please.
Anyway, so Mal and Uma decide to settle things the way all teenage girls do with an arm wrestling match.
If you win, Ben is free to go.
On 3.
1,
2,
3.
If I win, you bring me the wand.
Okay, wait a second here. The MacGuffin for this movie is the wand again?
We're doing this again?
So long story short, their big plan is to make a 3D printed version of the fairy godmother's wand, because in case you hadn't heard, Carlos has a 3D printer now, so, you know, isn't that something? Anyway, they print out the fake wand, and then that girl from the first movie, you know, the one who like ripped her skirt so she could be cool or whatever, which does not work as well as I was led to believe, but that's not important right now. Yeah, so she finds out what they're doing and tags along with them back to the island.
Oh, Lonnie. I made them bring me.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And dude, I told you to stay. I flunked obedience class.
He's a dog, and he flunked. Anyway, so then it's finally time to save Ben from Uma and Harry and all this eyeliner. So they all head over to Uma's pirate ship, and Mal shows her the wand. But then Uma's like, how do I know it's the real wand? And then Mal pretends to cast a spell on the dog because, you know, the dog can already talk, unfortunately for us.
Does this vest make me look fat?
Then they trade the wand for Ben, but Uma realizes the wand is fake because it doesn't actually do anything. But like, as I recall, the whole point of the island is that magic doesn't work there.
This is my hood. No magic, no Wi-Fi, no way out.
Which is the whole reason why Maleficent gave Mal the spellbook to take with her in the first place?
There she is. It doesn't work here, but it will in Auradon.
So even if they had actually brought the real wand, wouldn't it just do nothing anyway? So like, what's even the point of any of this? Psh, can you believe this kids movie? But anyway, then there's this big swashbuckling battle with Mal and her friends versus the pirates.
Amazeballs.
You know, every time the dog talks in this movie, it's like what I imagine menstrual cramps feel like. Anyway, so this fight goes on for much longer than it needs to, but eventually they all escape through a giant sewer pipe and back to the magic limo. But in all the hullabaloo, Mal drops her magic spellbook. Once Ben is safe and they're all back in Auradon, our four main characters sit down and have a little show and tell, but, you know, with feelings.
Everybody wants me to be this lady of the court, and I have no idea how to keep up the act.
We're never gonna be like anybody else here. That's okay.
And we can't fake it.
Yeah, I mean, especially without my spellbook.
Mal, if Ben doesn't love the real you, then he's not the one.
You know, of course it's important to be yourself and show the real you and all that stuff, but like, it's a gamble either way, to be honest. I mean, you pretend to be a normal human being, and of course that facade never lasts long, but then with the next person, you're very upfront about, you know, how you would rank every Tim Allen movie, and they don't call you back either. So just, I don't know, do whatever you want. Anyway, so that night is the cotillion, and Carlos is running out of time to ask Jane out. So he musters up all his courage and pops the question.
Would you be my date for cotillion? And if you don't absolutely hate me by the end of it, would you consider maybe being more than friends?
Anyway, so then it's finally time for the main event, which, just FYI, is being held on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. Mal comes out looking all fancy, and then Ben comes out looking like this for some reason. But then, out of nowhere, guess who else shows up? Right away, Mal figures out that Uma must be using the spellbook she dropped earlier, and now Ben's under some kind of like magic mind control or something. And so, instead of using the fairy godmother who's standing right there with the wand, Mal uses the power of love, again, to break the spell.
I never told you that I loved you because I thought that I wasn't good enough. And I thought that it was only a matter of time before you realized that yourself. Ben, I know what love feels like now. Ben, I've always loved you.
Now, with the spell broken, Uma throws a fit and jumps into the ocean where she uses her magic necklace to turn into whatever this is.
True love's kiss won't defeat this.
Yeah, that's not really something I was worried about at this particular moment. Anyway, so then Mal uses her magic powers to turn into a dragon. You know, we're just getting a whole lot of information all at once here, and I don't really know what to do with it. Anyway, so Mal's like, grrr, and Uma's like, and then Ben remembers that his mom forgot to buy some more Pop-Tarts. And he too jumps in the ocean to tell them not to fight because, guys, friendship is cool.
Nobody wins this way. We have to listen and respect each other. It won't be easy, but let's be brave enough to try.
Now, after hearing all this, Uma's just like, nah, and swims away. But like really though, the climax of the whole movie is just nothing. Anyway, in the end, Mal gives her spellbook to the fairy godmother, Ben promises to release a few more kids from the island, and then everybody sings a song about believing in yourself and the power of friendship and, I mean, you know, Disney Channel stuff. Now, I gotta say, in almost every regard, Descendants 2 is much better than the first one. Like, the songs are better, there's more of them, the way the characters act and talk is much more interesting and fun to watch, everything's better, except for this guy over here. Why is he here? Like, just when I'm thinking, this movie's not so bad, we get one of these.
Amazeballs!
And my whole week is ruined. Anyway, Descendants 3 comes out August 2nd on Disney Channel. So, maybe you should expect a little something from me, maybe sort of kind of coming out around that same time, you know what I mean? Hey everyone, so, you know, in these videos, we all like to have fun and make some jokes and all that stuff, but just putting that aside for a second, a few days ago, Cameron Boyce, the guy who plays Carlos in the Descendants movies, he passed away in his sleep. And he was only 20 years old, which is, I mean, how is that a thing? Now, I didn't watch the show Jesse or really anything else Cameron's done, and like, I'm just now getting into the Descendants movies, so there's not really a whole lot I can like genuinely say about the situation, but Cameron definitely had a bright future ahead of him, you know what I mean? And this is why one of the things I always say is like, if there's something you ever want to do in life, just go do it now, right? Because one day you might go to sleep and just not wake up. So, but yeah, I don't really know what to say. There's not much to say. I mean, it's sad. It sucks. What do you even say? What do you even do in a situation like this? But all I can say is thank you, Cameron, and we're going to miss you. You know, usually when you have movies that have
Also das war wirklich krass, dass der so früh gestorben ist. So, meine Lieben, bevor wir hier weiter Mood-Killing betreiben, würde ich sagen, wir schauen uns noch den dritten an, damit Aliana zurückkommen kann. Und dann gucken wir uns Paris an. Und das ist schon hier eine krasse Hausnummer gewesen, das kann ich euch sagen. Sehr schlecht gereimt.
Well, here we are, everybody. The journey we all started together back in June has finally come to an end with Descendants 3. Now, I said this back in my Descendants 2 video, but Disney Channel movies have this thing where, like, the sequels are actually better than the one that came before, so my expectations are relatively high, I guess you could say. I mean, the finale of one of Disney Channel's most popular franchises ever? How could it not be a masterpiece? So let's take a walk. Now, as per what Ben said he would do at the end of the second movie, we start out with everyone back on the Island of the Lost trying to find more villain kids, which are now called VKs, because of course they are, to take to Auradon.
I can't believe this day has finally arrived!
I honestly wish we could take you all with us, and someday, very soon, maybe we can.
The four new kids they pick are Smee's twin sons, Dizzy, the granddaughter of Lady Tremaine, aka Cinderella's stepmom, and Celia, the daughter of that doctor guy from The Princess and the Frog. So finally, it's the day when these new kids are supposed to come to Auradon. And here we get to meet our good old pal, King Ben, who apparently has just completely given up on his hair. It's kind of like when you're in high school and freshman year, you know, you're like, I'm ready to learn. And then by senior year, it's just, why do I even show up anymore? I woke up 5 minutes ago, can you tell? But anyway, back to the movie.
Mal, this is the exact spot we first met not so long ago. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Now look at what you've done, you got me down on my knees.
Oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh, are you guys seeing this?
Will you marry me? Will you be my queen?
Yes!
Now, of course, everyone's really excited about everything that just happened, but there's a particular someone who's maybe not the most enthused.
Ben and Mal are the best. I'm so excited for Mal to be our queen.
You'd really rather have a VK on the throne than me? What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with everybody?
Yeah, so Princess Audrey's back in this movie, and she's just a little grumpy grump because, as you may recall, Mal stole her boyfriend and now she's gonna be Queen of Auradon. But I'm sure Audrey's pretty much over it at this point, right? I mean, it's not like she's gonna break into the museum from the first movie and steal Maleficent's magic stick or whatever. Like, that's definitely not gonna act crap. There she goes. Yeah, so she steals Maleficent's whatever that is, and the evil queen's crown, which also turns her hair pink and purple, because that's how you know she's a bad kid. But like, how lax is the security in this place? Because like, this museum has all the most powerful, evil artifacts from all of Disney history. But apparently any random teenager can just walk right in, take anything they want, do whatever this move is, and look at that, now you're a supervillain. I mean, you'd think this would happen on a more regular basis. You know, like some girl catches her boyfriend liking another girl's Instagram post and just... Anyway, so everyone's a little on edge right now because Uma's still out there somewhere, and now Maleficent's scepter's gone, so what are we supposed to do?
What do we do? How do we keep evil out of Auradon?
I think that there's only one way to guarantee their safety. I think that we have to close the barrier forever.
Now, of course, Mal doesn't want to do this, but she's kind of all out of options here. And on top of all that, she can't even tell her friends anything because, you know, dramatic tension. Anyway, so later on, Mal and friends are getting ready for Jane's birthday party when suddenly Audrey appears and tells Mal what's what.
I was hoping you were home. Is this a joke? Okay, Audrey.
Quit! It's not a toy. It's dangerous.
I want to be dangerous.
I want to be dangerous? I mean, wearing this full-on leather bodysuit in the middle of summer seems like more than enough danger for me, you know what I'm saying? But sure, okay. Now, after this, Audrey uses the scepter to turn Mal into an old grandma because, as she puts it,
You think Ben will love you now, you old hag?
but I mean, the whole reason Ben fell in love with Mal in the first place is because she made him cookies and muffins and stuff, right? Well, you know who makes the best cookies you're ever gonna have? Grandmas, okay? So, joke's on you, Audrey. Anyway, so then we get some information that no one thought was important to mention until the third movie.
There's no spell that can reverse the curse of the scepter.
Well, that's a shame.
Audrey's out for revenge, and all of Auradon is in danger.
What should we do?
The only thing more powerful than the scepter is Hades' Ember.
So the new MacGuffin for this movie is Hades' Ember, which is allegedly more powerful than Maleficent's scepter. But like in the last two movies, they told us that the fairy godmother's wand was like the most powerful thing in the universe or whatever, so I don't even know what to believe anymore. Anyway, everyone rushes over to the island to go find Hades. And of course, the spell on Mal wears off because magic doesn't work there, so I don't know what the point of all this was, but whatever. Anyway, so Mal and Celia find Hades and try to steal the Ember.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah, so turns out Hades is Mal's dad, and this is where we get a little backstory about why we didn't know about this until right now.
You abandoned me when I was a baby.
No, I left your mother. She's not the easiest person to get along with.
You think?
Huh? You see? We have something in common already. We both hate your mother.
You know, with all the singing and the hair and whatever, like, it's easy to overlook that this movie's actually kind of dark. Like, this whole thing between Mal and her dad, I mean, this is some pretty heavy stuff for a Disney Channel movie. Anyway, so after Hades sings a song about how Mal's daddy issues are actually a good thing, not joking, by the way, that's actually the song, Mal gets the Ember and leaves. But just when everyone's about to head back to Auradon, Gil and Harry, the two guys from the second movie, jump through the barrier at the last second, and would you believe zany antics ensue?
Hey guys, we're just coming for a revisit.
Hey!
So now that Uma has the Ember, she agrees to help Mal stop Audrey if Mal will let everyone on the island go to Auradon if they want to. And of course, given the circumstances, once again, Mal has no choice. You know, I think I'm starting to see a pattern in this movie, but we'll see how it goes. Now, because of what happened in the second movie, everyone still kind of hates each other. But leave it to Evie over here to step in and give her 2 cents.
Here's a thought. We could try to be friends. Put our history behind us and celebrate our differences.
Yeah, okay, Evie, we could do that, but then we'd have to be nice to each other, and heaven forbid, I might actually feel happy. I mean, my whole life is like 30% sarcasm and 70% always being just a little perturbed about something, so I don't know if that's gonna work for me. Anyway, somehow they all make it back to Auradon and find everyone asleep or turned to stone, all thanks to Audrey.
They're asleep. Everyone. I can't get Ben. Or Dizzy or Doug.
Or Jane, the signal's out.
Dude, delicious. Oh, no. We're not doing this dog again, okay? You got me once, Disney Channel, but I don't have the emotional stability to go a second time. So everyone goes to the castle to find Audrey and or Ben, but that's when Audrey attacks them with some magical suits of armor, and things are looking so good, but then Mal gets an idea.
And so they have a dance-off against the magic armor. And that's how they break the spell, by dancing.
Anyway, after this, Mal, Evie, and Uma go off to find Audrey, while the guys try to find Ben, which they do, by the way, except, he's kind of going through some things. But right at that moment, Jane shows up with some enchanted lake water and sprays it all over Ben, thus breaking Audrey's spell, mostly. So remember back when Mal said this?
There's no spell that can reverse the curse of the scepter.
Yeah, well, turns out that was just a big old... We also learned that Jane avoided Audrey's spells by hiding in the aforementioned lake, while Audrey was doing the whole, obnoxious villain laugh thing. Which, by the way, makes up 80% of her lines in this movie. Now, going back to Jane for a second here, what exactly has she been doing this whole time? I mean, if the lake water can break or prevent any spell, like in the first movie or now in this one, why didn't she just spray everyone with the water and then go get the fairy godmother's wand? Wham bam bibbidi bow, movie's over in 5 minutes.
Disney Channel movies, why do I do this to myself?
So anyway, long story short, Ben and all the guys reunite with Mal and everyone else, and now they're all just kind of best friends for some reason.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm so much better right now. Are you okay? What is this?
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get used to this.
You like it?
I love this.
Yeah, okay, Mal, back it up. Leave some room for Jesus, all right? Now, that night, everyone heads over to the fairy cottage where Audrey was supposedly staying. But when they get there, the only thing they find is Chad locked in a closet, which I gotta say, it's actually kind of impressive how Chad is in all 3 movies and does literally nothing this entire series. I mean, good for you, buddy. Anyway, so this is the point in the movie when everyone finds out the big secret that Mal's been keeping this whole time.
Someday, you're gonna have to tell me how you guys all got teamed up.
Actually, Mal promised to let all the kids off the aisle once this is over. I have to tell you guys something.
I lied to you. The kids won't be coming off the aisle.
What do you mean?
The program is shut down.
And just like that, the fellowship is broken. Celia throws the ember into some water, so now that doesn't work anymore. Mal's in a tough spot. And if that wasn't enough, okay, right then, Audrey turns Ben, Carlos, Jay, and Evie to stone. Although she also gets that dog in there, so maybe it's not all bad. So after Mal sings a song about being true to herself, which I swear has to be the 100th time she's done this so far, Audrey has Celia trapped on top of a tower. Mal transforms into a dragon to stop her, but she's not strong enough to win against Audrey's magic. And if you're a little confused about how we got from that last scene to this one, me too, because 12 things all happened in the span of 30 seconds. Anyway, so like I said, Mal isn't strong enough, and of course Hades' ember thing doesn't work, so time to pack it up, kids. Looks like it's all over for Auradon.
We're stronger together. Stronger together. I'm right here, Mal. Regain your might and ignite.
And just like that, everyone forgets everything that happened 2 minutes ago, and it turns out the real magic was friendship all along. So just to summarize here, Mal ends up defeating Audrey, but she may have gone a little too far, and realizes that she needs the help of her dad, Hades, to bring Audrey back to life. And everyone just kind of brushes over the fact that Mal kills Audrey in this movie. Like I said, Descendants 3 is pretty dark. Anyway, at the very end, Ben and Mal are having a little engagement party. But that's when Mal realizes what she has to do about Auradon, the island, the barrier, and just everything.
You never know where the bad is gonna come from. And you never know where the heroes are gonna come from either. We are all capable of good and bad. And that's why I can't be queen of just Oridon. I have to be queen of the Isle, too. And it's time that we take the barrier down forever.
So then Mal uses the fairy godmother's wand to take down the barrier, and now all the inner city kids get to hang out in the suburbs and dance on the most unsafe bridge I've ever seen. Like, is no one even a little concerned here? And that's where the movie ends. So yeah, I guess we're all just supposed to forget that Mal's mom is still a baby lizard living in a box. But hey, that's cool, yeah, whatever, right kids? Now, here's the thing. Having seen all 3 Descendants movies, I gotta say, Descendants 3, what happened? I guess my main issue is that they crammed so many songs into this movie that, like, the story barely gets any time to itself. Like, Descendants 1 had the same problem, just reversed, and the second movie stuck a pretty good balance, I thought. But with this one, it's just like every tiny, semi-important story beat gets its own musical number. I don't know, it's just this entire movie feels like the product of a meeting with some studio executive who's just like, you know what kids don't care about? A plot that makes sense. You know what kids love? Singing and dancing. So we're gonna do what Riverdale did for abs, but with songs. There's gonna be musical numbers everywhere, for no reason. We're gonna be millionaires. And also, something that really stood out, at least to me, was like, in the first 2 movies, there were some parts here and there that I thought were genuinely hilarious. But with this one, I guess maybe they were trying to target like a younger audience or something, but there's just no actual jokes. Like, characters would just say and do random things, and I guess it's supposed to be funny?
I noticed you were low on canned corn.
Who wants gum?
You know, my dad said that his dad did not handle pain well at all.
Follow me, people. That's great, dude. FYI, I give great cuddles, too.
It's not even like quirky or tongue-in-cheek or anything. They just say random things. I guess I'm just a little disappointed, you know? I feel like they could have done a lot with Auridon and the whole world they built, but as the finale to a highly successful trilogy, it's just so... Even though I like to kind of make jokes about the series and the Descendants movies don't really make a whole lot of sense if you think about it, you still get attached to the characters, you know? It's like you see them for 3 movies, you see kind of how they grow.
Ich muss ganz ehrlich zugeben, ich mag die 3 Filme sehr. Ich mag sie wirklich sehr und ich liebe sie auch, aber er hat schon recht, der liebe Alex, was da teilweise passiert und gemacht wird. Celeste, danke für dein Resub und also es ist schon, ja, das fand ich damals halt auch so interessant. So, ja, es gibt nichts, was diesen Fluch brechen kann. Zack, jung, hübsch again. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Ich bin ein Riesenfan davon, dass Hades dabei ist. Ich liebe Hades einfach. Ich mag den Disney Hades sehr. Also wirklich, ich liebe ihn. Es ist so, ich mag ihn einfach sehr. Und theoretisch ist er gar nicht mal so schlimm. Also wenn man bedenkt, er hätte auch echt anders reagieren können im Vergleich zu den anderen Göttern. Und ich habe es sehr gefeiert beim 3. Teil. Aber, meine Lieben, ich würde jetzt tatsächlich ganz kurz... Das stimmt. Ja, das ist so mein großer Fan. Sollen wir einfach direkt weitermachen, weil dann könnte ich nämlich ganz kurz einen Stock tiefer gehen, weil mir dreht es gerade, ganz ehrlich, ein bisschen den Magen um und ich möchte sicher sein, dass jetzt nichts irgendwie auf die Tastatur kommt. Also, dass ich hier gerade so durchhalte, ist, glaube ich, auch gerade nur Willenskraft. Ich habe ja, ne? Ich würde dann nämlich Musik, Pause, drum und dran, damit wir gleich weitermachen können. Ich starte hier noch kurz das Battle und dann mute ich mich, dann machen wir Pause, dann machen wir weiter und dann lassen wir da auf den Buffy, haben wir gesagt, ja. Komm schon. Wie ich gerade dachte, dass Wilby von einer neuen Band spricht. Bei Madden. Also, ich fand bei den Filmen, bei Descendants am Ende, wo sie dann sich verlobt haben mit 16, ein bisschen schwierig. 16 fand ich dann ein bisschen jung. Aber ich glaube, sie sollten auch keine 16 sein, sondern zu dem Zeitpunkt schon 18, weil sie ja auch Schwertern kämpfen und im Kram. Ja, ist ein bisschen schwierig, ne? Nichtsdestotrotz sind es tatsächlich Filme von Disney, die ich sehr, sehr gerne immer und immer wieder schaue. Und mich sehr, sehr drüber freue. Also das sind so meine Wohlfühlfilme quasi mittlerweile. Ich habe die ja per Zufall entdeckt letztes Jahr und ich liebe sie einfach. Und ich finde es so schade, dass Cameron gestorben ist. Weil ich glaube, einen 4. wird es jetzt nicht geben. Aber wenn, dann wäre das ziemlich cool. Gucken wir mal. So, meine Lieben. Seid ihr bereit für Buffy? Cameron hatte einen epileptischen Anfall im Schlaf und ist gestorben, ja. Mit 20, das muss man sich halt auch mal vorstellen. Ja, das ist... Der heißt doch Cameron. Oder? Heißt der nicht... Habe ich den Namen verwechselt? Cameron? Doch, Cameron Boyce. Cameron Boyce, ja. Boo Stewart. Okay, das ist auch... Heißt der wirklich so? Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Ich weiß gar nicht, was ich sagen soll. Lasst uns doch einfach mal Buffy anschauen. Bevor ich irgendwelche unangebrachten Sprüche über Namen sage und dann mein Karma ruiniere.
You know, in doing these videos, I get asked to do a whole bunch of different TV shows and movies or like whatever, you know? But one show I've been getting since the very beginning of whatever this whole thing is was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, I've never actually seen this show, although pretty much everyone else in my family has. And I do remember how much of a cultural phenomenon it was back in the late 90s. Like, for those of you who don't remember, Buffy was everywhere back in the day. So, I mean, hey, everyone loves Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? How bad could it be? But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Swagbucks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Swagbucks? What, is this some kind of rice gum thing or something? So basically, Swagbucks is a service that lets you participate in market research. You sign up with my link below in the description, and all you gotta do is just like surf the web, watch videos, play games, take surveys, like just the kind of stuff you do in your free time anyway, or like, you know, when you're not doing homework. And doing this earns you points. Now, these points can be redeemed for Amazon gift cards, Walmart gift cards, or just, you know, cash through PayPal. So again, all you gotta do is just click the link below in my description. You get $5 for free just for signing up, and start earning some extra cash today. Okay, back to the show.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
Well, yeah. Boy, it doesn't get more 90s than that intro, does it?
Whoa! Excuse me, now stop. Please move. Whoa! Excuse me.
Okay, never mind. Yes, it does. But you know, skateboarding was such a late 90s, early 2000s thing. Like, I don't know if it's quite the same anymore, but for some reason, like, every kid on TV had a skateboard. You got Max from Goof Troop, you had Rocket Power on Nickelodeon, you had this dude on Buffy. Like, what the heck was with skateboards? And every textbook you ever got in school had some random kid on a skateboard jumping over some, like, weird zigzag or whatever. And then underneath it would have something dumb like, unleash the knowledge, or like, whatever. The 90s were so weird. Anyway, so the main character of this show is Buffy. Just a regular 16-year-old girl trying to get through life and survive her first day of school.
Can I have you? Can I help you?
Thanks.
I don't know you, do I?
I'm Buffy. I'm new.
Xander. Is me. Hi.
Oh, geez, just your luck, huh, Buffy? First day at a new school, and the first guy you meet is some skater named Xander. Well, hey, at least your day couldn't get any worse, huh? Now, while going through her day, Buffy starts talking with the popular girl in school, who gives her a test to see how cool she really is, which is a really weird way of doing things, but sure, whatever, go ahead.
We do have to test your coolness factor. You're from LA, so you can skip the written, but let's see. Vamp nail polish.
Over?
So over. James Spader.
He needs to call me.
James Spader? Well, there's a random name I haven't heard in a while. What, was he some kind of dreamboat back in the 90s or something? Well, shoot, can you call me too?
You passed. Oh, good to hear.
Willow. Nice dress. Good to know you've seen the softer side of Sears.
Oh, well, my mom picked it out.
No wonder you're such a guy magnet. Are you done?
Oh.
What? The popular girl isn't very nice? I'm shocked. And you know, you got a lot of nerve making fun of Willow's clothes considering you're wearing snot green velvet pants. Like, where did you go dumpster diving last night? Now, Buffy realizes she doesn't have any school books, you know, being the new girl and all that, so decides to check out the library.
Is anybody here?
Can I help you?
I was looking for some, well, books. I'm new.
I'm Mr. Giles, the librarian. I was told you were coming.
Of course, every show has to have at least one random British dude, right? But like, okay, can we just think about this for a second? So this guy immigrated from the UK, filled out all the paperwork, jumped through all these hoops, finally gets his visa just to become a high school librarian? But anyway, shockingly, turns out this librarian might not be just your average librarian, you know what I'm saying?
So, I'm gonna need perspectives on 20th century.
I know what you're after.
That's not what I'm looking for.
After this, at lunchtime, Buffy sits down and talks with Willow, and of course, Xander shows up yet again.
You guys busy? We're interrupting? We're interrupting.
Hey. Hey.
So what do you do for fun? What do you like? What do you look for in a man? Let's hear it.
Okay, I see you trying to sneak in that last question there. Hey, what's your favorite food? What do you do for fun? And do you like guys with floppy hair who may or may not be good at skateboarding? Just asking for a friend? Now, this is where we learn that someone found a dead guy in the girls' locker room. And there's a whole lot of jokes I can make about that, but I'll just let y'all fill in the blanks yourselves. Anyway, Buffy goes to investigate, and surprise, surprise, this dude was killed by a vampire. So she goes back to talk to Senior Creepypants in the library.
You heard about the dead guy, right? The dead guy in the locker?
Yes.
Because it's the weirdest thing. He's got two little holes in his neck, and all his blood's been drained. Isn't that bizarre? Aren't you just going, ooh?
What? Can we just watch that again?
Isn't that bizarre? Aren't you just going, ooh?
Boy, just really selling it there, aren't you, Buffy?
Dig a bit in the history of this place, and you'll find a steady stream of fairly odd occurrences. I believe this whole area is a center of mystical energy. Things gravitate towards it that you might not find elsewhere.
Like vampires.
Like zombies. Werewolves.
Men who wear socks and sandals at the same time, and people who ride motorcycles as loud as possible.
At 2 o'clock in the frickin' morning!
Now that night, Buffy, and I guess the entire school, goes to a club where she finds Willow sitting all by herself. And they talk about, you know, like what every 16-year-old girl in the 90s talked about, I assume. Boys.
When I'm with a boy I like, it's hard for me to say anything cool or witty or at all. I can usually make a few vowel sounds and then I have to go away.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that was pretty much me all through high school. Some girl would ask me the most basic question, and that was just too much for me. Excuse me, do you happen to know how to get to the attendance office? But after hearing this, Buffy decides to share her own philosophy on, like, boys and stuff.
Life is short.
Life is short.
Not original, I'll grant you, but it's true, you know? Why waste time being all shy and worrying about some guy and if he's gonna laugh at you? Seize the moment, because tomorrow you might be dead.
Okay, I'll just be over here talking to anyone else. Somebody? Hello? So at this club, Buffy once again runs into the librarian, which really only makes him more creepy.
Can you tell me if there's a vampire in this building?
Maybe.
You should be able to sense them.
There's one.
Where?
Right there, talking to that girl.
Look at his jacket. He's got the sleeves rolled up. And the shirt? Deal with that outfit for a moment.
It's dated.
It's carbon dated. Trust me,
Only someone living underground for 10 years would think that was still the look.
Okay, let me get this straight here. This guy is dressed in an out-of-date fashion, and that means he's a vampire? Can you imagine if they made the show today? Like Buffy just walks around San Francisco for 5 minutes. There's vampires everywhere! So this vampire dude takes off with Willow, and Buffy goes to look for him before he does all of his, vampire stuff. Now, on the way out, she walks by this girl who, spoilers, also happens to be a vampire.
What did you say your name was?
Darla.
Darla, you okay?
Hey, what's your name? Darla.
And in the end, Buffy finds everyone hanging out in a mausoleum, beats them up with some fantastic 90s choreography, but she isn't quite strong enough and things aren't looking too good.
Amen.
Will she survive? Can she defeat this Star Trek Next Generation looking dude? Is this the end for Buffy? Probably not, since the show, goes on for like 7 more seasons, so I'm sure she's fine. So I gotta say, and before I do, I know it's only 1 episode, and of course it's the pilot, which means things are a little more awkward than usual, but like honestly though, the show is still actually quite good. I mean, sure, you gotta look past the corny 90s-ness of it all, and the special effects and all that are very 90s, let's just say. The thing that this show does, that for whatever reason no other high school teen drama or whatever nowadays seems inclined to do, is the characters, generally speaking, and I realize I'm not that far into the show, but just stick with me for a second. The characters act kind of sort of like real people. Like, they have a sense of humor, they understand the ridiculousness of their situation, although, to be fair, some of these lines that we get in the show get pretty cheesy pretty quick. But overall, it's nice to see characters who are at least semi-realistic, or at least interesting. And like, for example, Shadowhunters could have been the next Buffy if the characters weren't just so serious all the time and acted like wooden boards. But yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is kind of weird, but still pretty good. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So we have a Buffy the Vampire shirt in the store, just a simple little one for you there. The link is below in the description, and use the promo code VAMPIRE at checkout and you get free worldwide.
Das mit den Holzbrettern. Liebe ihn. Liebe ihn. So. High School Musical, meine Lieben. Wir haben alle drauf gewartet. Aber ich werde uns noch 2 weitere Serien aufmachen. Oh, Twilight! True. High School Musical. Here we go. Oh boy.
So here we are, finally. We survived the first 2 High School Musical movies somehow, and now we're at the end with High School.
Oh nein, das ist ja der 3. Ich sollte schon richtig gucken. So, wo haben wir's? Das ist Nummer 2, das ist Nummer 1. Okay.
So, I was a 90s kid, for those of you wondering, which I know is like nobody. I grew up during the sort of like Disney cartoon renaissance, right? We had like Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, Hercules, like all these like animated musical movies. And then they all just kind of went away as we moved into 2000. I guess like musicals were just not cool anymore or whatever. And then 2006 came around, and Disney Channel decided to take a bit of a risk and bring back the old musical movie genre, or like whatever it's called, and gave us High School Musical. Now that High School Musical has long faded from people's minds, I thought I would take a look back at this movie that grabbed so many people for whatever reason. So let's check it out. The movie starts on New Year's Eve with a fetus Zac Efron. I mean, look at this dude. My goodness, hope you packed your diapers. So Troy is on vacation with his family, but he and his dad are still playing the old basketball, and his mom has just about had it.
Really fly all this way to play more basketball?
Yeah.
It's the last night of vacation. The party, remember?
Right. The party. New Year's Eve.
Troy, they have a kids' party downstairs in the Freestyle Club.
Kids party?
Young adults. Now go.
Wait, so I'm confused here. Is it a kids party or not a kids party? All I want to know is, are we gonna watch Space Jam in our pajamas or not? So Troy ends up going to the kids party, which has a karaoke stage as the main event. For whatever reason, he gets picked to go up there with some random girl he's never met named Gabriella, both of whom don't really want to be there.
That anything can happen when you take a chance.
I never believed in what I could.
I love his face right here when she starts to sing. He's just like, ah, crap, now I gotta sing the whole rest of this dumb song. Thanks a lot. Afterwards, they decide to exchange numbers out on the balcony.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here, put your number in. Here.
You too.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go.
How does he just know how to take a picture with her phone? I mean, like nowadays, sure, everyone has smartphones, it's all the same, I guess. But like back in the flip phone Nokia era, taking a photo was like a whole process. It's like in movies how characters go to hotels and they just instantly understand how to use the shower. Like, you ever tried to use a shower in a hotel? It's like doing a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Let's see here. Just put the little arrow barely touching the red and... Then we flash forward to the beginning of school after winter break. Troy, who, surprise, surprise, is the cool kid in school. You know, it's gotta be the hair, I guess, right? I mean, Zac Efron, 2006, Justin Bieber, 2008. The secret to popularity has nothing to do with personality, okay? Just walk around with your hair looking like a bucket on your head. You're good to go.
Nice princess's return from the North Pole.
You know, she probably spent the holidays where she always does. Well, how's that? Shopping for mirrors.
You know, 2006 was a different time. We were all much tamer back then, long before, you know, social media came and just turned us all into heartless monsters. Then we get to meet the main antagonist of the movie, Sharpay, or as she apparently spells it,
Oh, were you going to sign up too? My brother and I have starred in all the school's productions, and we really welcome newcomers. There are a lot of supporting roles in the show.
Man, I'm having some real, like, high school PTSD flashbacks right now. Like I said in my Glee video, I was a theater kid, okay? I was in show choir, musicals, like, let me tell you, I was really cool. And there were so many Sharpays. I mean, even now, I still flinch when I see a blonde white girl who smiles too much. Now, both Troy and Gabriella get detention because they have their cell phones out in class. And so, naturally, they serve detention by helping the drama teacher build her sets because, you know, of course they do.
So many new faces in detention today. I hope you don't make a habit of it, but the drama club can always use an extra hand. And while we are working, let us probe the mounting evils of
premarital sex. Anyway, singing with Gabriella at the party where they didn't watch Space Jam in their pajamas, okay? Talk about a lame party, am I right? This makes Troy decide that he would in fact like to try out for the musical since singing was just, you know, so much gosh darn fun. But he doesn't want anyone to know. So he goes through this like Indiana Jones Temple of Doom maze just to get to the auditorium. Like, how big can this school really be? I mean, I just see the same 20 students everywhere we go. So eventually he makes it to the audition. And hold on a second. Is that report of the week sitting right there? Is that review, brah? Anyway, Troy and Gabriella are late, but they sing a song anyway just for funsies. And wouldn't you know, they get a callback, which Sharpay is none too happy about. Now, because of the callback, everyone of the whole school, all 20 students, find out that Troy auditioned for the musical. And this somehow leads to everyone deciding to just like let all the skeletons out of their closets, like Troy is just the Rosa Parks of his generation or something. Everybody gather.
Got me, and what do you see?
So I was to the audition, but they sing a song and one of the Troy is just the place, but yes, turtles are cool, sure. And then of course a bunch of other kids start joining in and telling their own secrets, which will definitely end well for everyone.
Look at me, and what do you see?
A lot of questions, but I think we'll just move on.
Did you see what's happening here, man? Our team is coming apart because of your singing thing. Look, even the drama geeks and the brainiacs suddenly think that they can talk to us. Look, the skater dudes are mingling.
Yo.
Suddenly people think that they can do other stuff. Okay, stuff that's not their stuff. They've got you thinking about show tunes when we've got a playoff game next week.
Like, I get that this is the whole point of the movie, you know, like, oh, in high school, everyone gets put into little boxes and you have to stay in your lane. But like, you think they could be any more on the nose here? I mean, like, whoever wrote this movie probably hasn't even been to high school since they faked the moon landing. Because like, even way back in 2006, put me on life support, no one actually thought like this. If a basketball player tried out for a musical, no one would care. Now later, Gabriella goes up to the roof to find Troy sitting there all by himself like a loser.
I'm sure it's tricky being the coach's son.
It makes me practice a little harder, I guess. I don't know what he's gonna say when he finds out about the singing.
You worried?
My parents' friends are always saying, your son's the basketball guy. You must be so proud.
I love this like 1,000-yard stare Troy gets midway through his sentence. You must be so proud. Wait a minute, did your nachos turn into chili fries? What are they feeding us at this school? And then we get to know Gabriella's character a little better.
I saw the way you treated Kelsey at the audition yesterday. Do your friends know that guy?
To them, I'm the playmaker, dude.
Then they don't know enough about you, Troy. At my other schools, I was the freaky math girl. It's cool coming here and being anyone I want to be.
But you know, her whole like character backstory, whatever, like it doesn't even make sense. A pretty girl who's good at math, and she was the freaky math girl? Okay, you know what kind of girls there are in high school? You got freaky horse girl, freaky anime girl, freaky girl who tells you way too much about her personal life. You know what high schools don't have? Freaky math girl. I know this isn't supposed to be like a true one-to-one realistic high school or whatever, but like when I was in high school, the pretty popular girls were also valedictorians. So like this backstory doesn't even make sense. At some point later in time, Gabriella meets up with Troy during practice.
Whoa! Don't tell me you're good at hoops too.
You know, I once scored 41 points on a league championship game.
No way.
Yeah, and the same day I invented the space shuttle and microwave popcorn.
Ah, okay. Now I see why kids didn't like you at your old school. Turns out the math had nothing to do with it. Troy's dad, who's also the basketball coach, just a small little detail there, gets upset that Gabriella is taking Troy away from basketball and making him, would you believe, sing? And kicks her out. This leads to Troy and his dad having a bit of an argument about whether he should sing or not. Yes, this is actually the whole conflict of the movie.
There's something special.
Yeah, well, a lot of things are special, Dad.
But you're a playmaker. Not a singer. Hey.
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
I hadn't thought of that. Well, gosh darn, problem solved. Movie's over. So long story short, Gabriella overhears Troy smack-talking her and the musical and all that stuff with the world's greatest webcam.
She's just someone I met. All right, the singing thing is nothing. Probably just a way to keep my nerves down. I don't know, it means nothing to me. You're my guys, and this is our team. Gabriella is not important.
I mean, seriously though, how does this even work? Like, this is 2006 internet. Even now in 2018, I can't Skype someone without feeling like I got drunk goggles on. Naturally, this leads to Gabriella not wanting to talk to Troy, and Troy left wondering what happened. So that night, he goes over to her house to try and smooth things over. And we see Gabriella just sitting there, perfect posture, hair and makeup all done perfectly, just reading a book like some little princess. But I mean, like, okay, we all know she would have some weird face mask on, hair just done in the messiest bun you've ever seen, fingers covered in Cheeto dust. I mean, come on, High School Musical, you ain't fooling nobody. Afraid they might lose to Troy and Gabriella, Sharpay has the audition date moved to coincide with the championship basketball game and whatever it is Gabriella does. Now, before the big basketball game, Troy and his dad have one last heart-to-heart talk.
I know all about the pressure, and probably too much of it has come from me. Because what I really want is to see my son having the time of his life playing the game we both love. You give me that, and I will sleep with a smile on my face no matter how the score comes out.
So you want me to play so you can be happy? This is kind of a weird pep talk, not gonna lie. Just sounds like it's all about you, Dad. In the end, Troy and Gabriella both win their respective tournaments or like whatever, and just barely make it to the audition.
I don't know what's going on here, but in any event, it's far too late and we have not got a pianist.
Well, let's show this. Oh, we'll sing without a piano.
Oh, no, you won't. Pianist here, Miss Jarvis.
I'm sorry, what?
penis here, Mr. Abbott.
Okay, well, we'll just leave that one right there. You know, it's just one of those words you don't want to say too fast, all right? And the movie ends pretty much how you think it will. Troy and Gabriella get the main parts in the musical, everyone is friends, kumbaya, and all that stuff. So, like, this is one of those movies that really owes its success to, like, right place, right time kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, watching it back now, as someone who liked it well enough when it came out, why did everyone latch onto this movie so much? I mean, there's whole parts of it that don't even make sense. Like I said, for the time, it was like this revolutionary thing to have a movie about high school kids singing, you know, like, oh, let's challenge the status quo and all that, but like, it has not aged well, okay? I mean, like, the intro part to Sharpay and her brother's musical number.
Mucho gusto.
Ay, qué fabulosa! Ay, ay, ay!
Something tells me this just wouldn't fly today, you know? I don't know, the world was a different place in 2006. But still, you can't deny what High School Musical started, bringing back movie musicals and all that stuff, right? So like, I guess it's not all bad. Hey, guess what? This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I'm sure you've all heard about Squarespace by now, but in case you haven't, Squarespace is a website that lets you build a website. All the tools and features and everything you need to make any kind of website you want, it's all right there. You do it all from their website, so you don't need to install anything, patch anything, like really, it's all just right there. And no joke, it's super easy to start building a professional looking website. Like, I never used Squarespace before, and I built this whole website here in just like 10 minutes. Right now, Squarespace is offering you guys 10% off your first purchase if you go to squarespace.com/Alex Myers. For those of you listening in the background or while doing homework, I see you out there. That's squarespace.com/ALEXMEYERS. With Squarespace, I made this little website where I blog about things that probably would have been video essays once upon a time, but you know, things are a little bit different now. I've added some stuff to the blog since the last time I talked to you guys about Squarespace, so if you're interested in reading whatever my brain regurgitated out recently, feel free to check it out. If you're thinking that you want to make your own website, Squarespace is offering you guys 10% off your first purchase and 14-day free trial if you go to squarespace.com/Alex Myers. The link is in the description below, so if you want to start building your own website for like your blog or your online store, your band, your mixtape, or I don't know, your Riverdale fanfic, whatever, do it with Squarespace. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So as always, we got some merch in the store, some High School Musical stuff, so check it out, link is below. Special promo code musical gets you free worldwide shipping, so if you're interested, check it out, it's there for you. Now watching this movie was nostalgic for a lot of reasons. I mean, number one, you know, like when this movie came out, you know, we all liked it. We all latched onto this idea for some reason. I liked it well enough when it came out. You know, kids, adults, everyone was just obsessed with this High School Musical. It was like Frozen, but like before Frozen, you know what I mean? And watching it back now, it's like, why did we like this movie so much? Because it's like, it's just so bizarre in so many ways. As someone who graduated from high school in 2006, it was just so nostalgic to kind of look at this time. Back in 2006, like social media wasn't really a thing. YouTube had just started, like the internet as we know it now was just starting to kind of creep up. You know, but it's like, it's so weird to go back to this time that I remember so well. But High School Musical did kind of help usher in this kind of like bringing back musical movies and stuff. You know, now that I think about it, actually, like even way back in like 2001, I think Buffy did a musical episode, just one. I guess at the time that must have been just bizarre. Like, wow, this musical episode in 2001, that's crazy. But like High School Musical und Glee came in, they brought up.
Also man muss schon sagen, High School Musical ist nicht so gut gealtert. Also man kann sich schon ein bisschen offended fühlen bei manchen Sachen und das ist auch schwierig. Die Botschaft ist immer noch die gleiche und die ist immer noch gut. Lebe deinen eigenen Traum und nicht den von deinen Eltern. Aber ja, High School Musical ist gut gealtert und ich glaube, wir verkacken das Battle und oh. Das ist schwierig. Und es ist auch, wenn ihr mich fragt, super creepy. Also ich weiß ja nicht, was wir uns damals gedacht haben. Und ich bin auch ganz ehrlich, ich finde die Filme immer noch super weird. Aber er macht's lustig. Er setzt sich damit ja auch auseinander. Und ich muss sagen, Disney hat sich seitdem ja auch weiterentwickelt. Also gerade was Descendants angeht oder auch hier die Alien-Werwolf Zombie-Sache, die hat auch schon irgendwo ein bisschen besser funktioniert. High School Musical. Ja, ich war 16, okay? Ich war beim ersten Film 16. Ja, stimmt, Verwünscht 2 kommt jetzt auch bald, ne? Ich mag die Disney-Filme, ich stehe da ganz offen und ehrlich dazu und es ist mir auch völlig wurscht, wenn ich damit belächelt werde, weil es ist tatsächlich so, als wie er es ja auch in seinen eigenen Animationen immer ein bisschen parodiert. Und dann den Leuten erzählst, du magst du Disney-Filme, dann gucken sie dich immer an, sind sie wohl für Kinder? Ja, nee, ist es nicht. Oder selbst wenn, ist mir wurscht. Und vielleicht ist die neue Serie oder die neue Serienidee, ich quietsche mit meinem Stuhl, die ich im Verlag reingestellt habe, ein bisschen auch meine Liebe für Disney, für Märchen, für Villains entstanden und ich freue mich sehr drauf, wenn wir da was machen. Ja, vor allem als Kind erfreust du dich an den schönen Liedern, an den bunten Farben und an der schönen Geschichte. Als Erwachsener kriegst du die ganzen versteckten Bedeutungen halt einfach richtig mit, von wegen Daddy-Issues und Ausgrenzung und finde deinen eigenen Weg und deinen eigenen Traum und den ganzen Schmuh. Oh mein Gott. Ich weiß so leid. Schlafen ist total nicht meins. Und ich würde sagen, ich habe jetzt nur noch eine Pomodoro, aber die Videos, die wir vorbereitet haben, würde ich jetzt mit euch noch anschauen. Ich muss gerade nur Daten kontrollieren. Ja. Und dann würde ich mich aufs Sofa legen. Muss ich ganz ehrlich zugeben. Ich glaube, ich gehe heute tatsächlich ein bisschen früher auf und lege mich aufs Sofa und hoffe, dass mein Bauch sich wieder beruhigt. Loki hat vorhin auch, ich glaube, Loki hat auch was abbekommen. Der liegt auch schon den ganzen Tag rum. Der ist nicht draußen. Und aktuell lässt er sich von mir über den Bauch kraulen. Also kommt her, legt sich hin, sodass ich den Bauch kraulen kann. Und den durfte ich vorhin nicht anfassen. Gott sei Dank haben wir Montag einen Arzttermin mit ihm. Da kommen die Impfungen und dann soll er auch mal direkt nach dem Bauch gucken. Weil er isst auch ganz wenig. Rot muss ich auch noch anschauen. Also, meine Lieben, ich würde sagen, reiten wir in Runde 2 von dem singenden Film. Nicht mal mehr reden. Ach, Deutschsprache, Leute, ich sag's euch, deutsche Sprache.
So about a month ago, I thought I'd try giving the old High School Musical another spin. You know, I mean, it's been like 12 years since the movie came out, and if there's one thing I've learned from doing these videos, it's that nothing ever really holds up. Now, 1 year after High School Musical came out, we got High School Musical 2, because, you know, you gotta keep expanding the HSMU, you know what I'm saying? But the question on everyone's mind was, can the sequel live up to the original? Well, let's find out. But before that, guess what? This video is sponsored by Amino. So basically, Amino is a free online community of communities called Aminos. And there is an Amino for pretty much everything you could imagine. Any celebrity, YouTuber, TV show, movie, video game, whatever. If you like it, it's probably here. But what exactly can you do in these Aminos? Well, let me show you. Now, given the subject of this week's video, let's check out the Disney Amino. So right away, you can see you got about 40 people online right this second. 5 people chatting, 16 people reading, 35 people just browsing away. I mean, trust me, there's always someone doing something on Amino. Now, in these Aminos, you've got weekly challenges, fan fiction, style blogs, episode discussions, fan theories, you name it. Imagine your group of friends, how you talk about your favorite show or celebrity, or you try and like, you know, guess what's gonna happen next or whatever, and multiply that by like 50,000, and that's Amino. And like I said, Amino is completely free to use. So if you're interested, or if you just want a way to help support the channel and what I do here, all you have to do is this, okay? 1, click the link in my description and download the Amino app on your phone. 2, search for Disney. 3, join the Disney Amino. That's it, and all this week, I'm gonna be active here and there in the Disney Amino, including writing that hashtag Ursula did nothing wrong essay I talked about in my Once Upon a Time video. So if you like my videos, you're probably not gonna wanna miss this. Okay, back to the show. So the movie starts with school being out for the summer, and as you might imagine, everyone's real thrilled.
Sharpay, we got off to a rough start, but you really came through. I mean, you helped me with the winter musical. I did? Those vocal exercises? Ma! See ya.
Okay, well, movie's just starting right out with that, huh? Now, there's a lot going on here, but I do have one major concern, which is, why does Gabriella turn 270 degrees in the opposite direction just to walk away? Like, what a weirdo. We then flash sideways to Troy and Gabriella, and Troy has a little surprise.
Whatever happens, as long as we're together, it's cool, right?
I promise.
Here's my promise.
Oh, no. You've only known each other for like 7 minutes, okay, Troy? Don't do this. Oh, whew, it's just some dumb necklace. You had me going there, Troy.
Teasing Troy?
Ha, are you stupid? It's not T for Troy, it's T for...
Test your might.
So Sharpay starts to realize that she has a crush on Troy, which I mean, like, I get it, because, you know, back in 2007, who didn't, am I right? And gets him a job at her family's country club in hopes of, I don't know, going on some wacky adventures, I guess. But Troy pulls some strings of his own and gets Gabriella and apparently the entire school a job there too. Now Sharpay is upset by this and goes to talk to her mom, who's actually a lot more calm and normal than I expected.
These are your school chums, not the fuddy-duddy Lava Springs staff.
These are not my chumps. Shh. Ugh! Ryan, talk to Mother.
Hi, Mom. Ducky, how's my dashing boy?
Okay, hold on. What just happened? So they kiss fingers, they do this thing, which by the way, I hope I never see again. And then he just stands on his head? Like, who is this kid? Now here is where we basically get the entire plot of the movie explained to us.
I want them out.
But your mother specifically said...
Don't mention that backstabbing yogini to me. If you can't fire them, make them want to quit.
And just like that, everything turns on a dime and no more funny business.
Mr. Fulton just said, you know, there's Wildcat fans at Lava Springs and jobs are available. So I said, let's go for it.
Inspiring, Mr. Moulton. Truly inspiring. However, what we're looking for from all of you is not inspiration, but perspiration.
You telling me you want to watch a bunch of high school teenagers getting all hot and sweaty? Is that what you're saying to me right now? What kind of club is this? After a hard day's work, Troy and Gabriella decide to have a romantic lunch/dinner thing on a golf course, because, I mean, you know, you got to work with what you have, you know what I'm saying?
I always liked the idea of being in charge of my future. Until it actually started happening.
So let's just think about right now. Here, catch.
Oh, I love this game.
Ready?
Go.
So, like, okay, this is something that you always see in movies and TV shows and stuff. I tried this on a date once and things did not go well. Hey, catch this in your mouth, because I guess that's a thing that couples do or whatever. Like, I don't know. Okay, my turn. As part of Sharpay's evil scheme to make Troy fall in love with her, she basically forces him to play golf with and have dinner with her and her family.
You will sing some other time, though. With me. Promise?
Promise.
After this, Troy realizes that he's in a High School Musical movie, and also that he's really late for his date with Gabriella.
Sorry I'm late. Give me 2 more minutes.
Nice tie. Your shoes don't match, though.
Huh?
Kidding.
You know, Troy, you got your choice between Sharpay and Gabriella, so like, I don't know, maybe you should just be single for a while, you know what I'm saying? So the next day, Troy gets promoted to junior golf instructor and, surprise, surprise, has to give a private lesson to Sharpay, who's suddenly like, really bad at golf and needs help from big, strong Troy. Give me a break, you ain't fooling nobody. But shockingly, this is all just part of her secret plan to get some of that Efron Teflon, you know what I'm saying? And Gabriella starts to think something might be up.
Last club.
That girl's got more moves than an octopus in a wrestling match.
The heck does that even mean?
So wake up, sister. She's basically offering him a college education just to sing with her in the talent show.
You know, something tells me it's not just about the talent show anymore. It's about crushing Gabriella's dreams and chance for love. So the main sort of conflict or whatever of this movie is that while trying to win Troy's heart, Sharpay keeps giving him all this stuff like a new job, new shoes, introducing him to college basketball scouts, like that kind of thing. And Troy keeps drifting away from his old loser friends and toward his new loser friends.
Yesterday you said we were gonna play 2-on-2 after work before the baseball game. I know, man. I'm sorry.
Come on, Zeke, that was so yesterday. You know, when we were all on a team.
Anyway, with Sharpay chasing Troy around, her brother's kind of just cast aside, you know, like an old tin can, and starts hanging out with all of Troy's old friends. They sing a song while playing baseball, because, you know, why wouldn't you? And everything is great. Then, guess who decides to show up?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. So, I called last night. I got, hung up at the gym.
You know, I don't know why, but Gabriella's face right here is just the best thing.
I called last night. I got, hung up at the gym.
And turns out, Gabriella isn't the only one who's feeling a little upset.
Did you even ask to include us? Captain? I didn't go looking for the Red Hawks. The Red Hawks came to me.
You get a speck of dirt on your pants and someone dry cleans you.
You wouldn't do the same thing.
If I was as good as you.
I did not say that.
You didn't have to.
And neither did you. You think you got me all figured out? Well, I don't think so.
Psh, let me tell you something, all right? You don't know nothing about me. Do you even know how many Sailor Moon figures I have? Spoilers, it's a lot, okay? And don't even get me started on my Google search history, all right? You all would never talk to me again. So that night, Troy goes home and wonders if he really is making the right life choices about his future. And of course, he and his dad have a little heart-to-heart talk.
Do I seem different to you
Maybe my friends are right. Maybe I'm turning into a jerk with new shoes.
New shoes, not a new kid. Where's this coming from?
I don't even know who I am anymore.
I've known this kid for a long, long time. I got a lot of faith in him. He looks a lot like you.
Dad, this is just a picture of Shrek. You guys darn right it is. And he's twice the man you'll ever be, all singing and dancing like that. Anyway, back at the country club, with her brother leading the Wildcat kids in their own musical number, Sharpay starts to worry that maybe, just maybe, she might not win the talent show. So, she uses her family's position to force the head manager guy to change the rules and prevent everyone else from participating. Ah, the American dream. But this next scene here is, no joke, maybe the best scene in the whole movie.
What? Wait, Mr. Fulton.
No discussion, Miss McKessie. This is a business. Welcome to the world of adults who wish to keep their jobs because they have mortgages they wish to pay, tuition bills. So sometimes we have to perform tasks, however unpleasant, that are necessary for that all too important paycheck to land in our all too empty pockets.
Okay, so like, this is just such a real moment. Like, throughout this whole movie, we kind of just see this guy as like Sharpay's bumbling henchman, you know, going after the kids and ruining all their gosh darn fun. But like, the fact that this movie goes out of its way to remind us that he's just a guy trying to keep his job, pay his bills, provide for his family, like, it's easy to forget stuff like that, especially in movies where it's like, adults are dumb, kids rule. I mean, this movie is completely ridiculous, but I gotta give him points for this. So anyway.
All junior staffers will be required to work on show night. What? Yeah, it says no staff participation in the show will be allowed. Sorry, you guys, there's nothing we can do about it. It's Fulton's orders.
There's no way this is Fulton's idea.
Unless Fulton suddenly has blonde hair and wears designer flip-flops.
Hey, whoa, whatever Mr. Fulton does in his free time is none of your concern, all right? Anyway, so Gabriella gets into a little fight with Sharpay about Troy and the talent show and all that stuff, and ultimately quits her job and I guess breaks up with Troy? I don't know, it's not really clear between all the singing and stuff. So the next day, Troy learns about the talent show rule change, and then this happens.
Everybody's...
Come on, Troy, really? You ever get so mad you just end up singing on a golf course? You know, something I always thought was funny about this song, even when I first saw this movie, was this part right here.
Make it right, that is the way to turn my life around. Today is the day.
So like, okay, this is supposed to be some kind of like tough guy song about, I gotta be true to myself, man, or like whatever. And then out of nowhere, he just does this magical princess twirl thing. I have to be true to myself. And then, in the end, Troy tells Sharpay that he's not going to do the show. He and Chad have their little dude bromance moment. Troy says he will sing with Sharpay if the rest of the kids can join. Troy learns a new song in like 5 minutes, and Gabriella shows up again for some reason. You know, I gotta be honest here, I kind of forgot she existed for a while. But you know, watching this movie back, I realized something. Gabriella serves no purpose in this movie. She has almost nothing to do with the story or the plot or anything. Initially, right, Sharpay is intimidated by Gabriella and Troy, I guess, but it's pretty clear that there are several reasons why she does what she does for Troy. Gabriella being just one of them. The thing that really snaps Troy out of his little ego trip or whatever is when he sees what he and Sharpay are doing to his friends. Gabriella leaves before all that stuff happens anyway, so like, again, has nothing to do with her. And when Troy finally does set things right and everyone can join the talent show and all that, Gabriella just shows up out of nowhere. So like, she doesn't even need to be in this movie. She could have been sick all summer and nothing would have changed. But you know, compared to the first movie, this one at least has a relatively realistic conflict. You know, like the whole thing about should Troy focus on his college scholarship and his future, or should he be true to his friends now, or like whatever. Like, this is a real thing that kids in high school go through as they get to like junior, senior year and all that. The first movie was just like, what if people think I'm a loser for singing a song? Meh. But just like with the first movie, there are these like weird choices they made that really haven't aged well at all. Like back in High School Musical 1, you know, they had that ridiculous like Spanish number. One, they pull out this like over-the-top Polynesian bit just like out of nowhere.
I love that.
This even here. But still, High School Musical 2 is something else. Thanks for watching, everybody. Of course, we have the High School Musical shirt in the store. You know, it's there if you want to pick it up. You want to help support me, support the channel, you know, whatever. It's there for you. At checkout, use the promo code MUSICAL, and you get free worldwide shipping. So, you know, it's just there if you want it. You know, watching these movies back now that it's been, you know, 10, 11, 12 years, whatever.
Okay, ich muss noch etwas machen und dann kann ich Feierabend machen. Das heißt, wir werden uns jetzt noch das dritte Video anschauen. Und holy shit. Ich hab's voll verdrängt. Ich habe das so verdrängt. Holy crap shit. Und ja, diese Szene mit diesem, ich laufe über die Golfhügel. Das ist Cringe Overload.
So here we are, finally. We survived the first 2 High School Musical movies somehow, and now we're at the end with High School Musical 3, senior year. Now back in 2008, High School Musical fever was at its peak. Like everyone had fallen in love with this ragtag group of kids for goodness knows what reason. And now it's all coming to a close. This year, 2018, marks the 10th anniversary of High School Musical 3. And the big question that really no one asked except, me, is does the movie still hold up after all these years? Now to be completely honest here, I never actually saw the third movie because, by then I was way too cool, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, let's take a little walk and have a look at High School Musical 3. The movie just starts right out the gate with Troy giving us this hazy look. So, we're in for a wild ride with this one. So the Wildcats are losing their final championship game. At halftime, Troy gives them all a little pep talk.
Hey guys, you heard Coach. We're all gonna remember the next 16 minutes for a long time after we leave East High.
Not really. I mean, like 2 months into summer break, it'll all just be gone. This is one of those things that all these high school movies and TV shows or whatever, like they always dig into this idea that high school is just the most important part of your life and you're gonna remember it forever. But no? I mean, of course you should take it seriously, but still, it's just high school. Really though, if your peak is high school, it's just all downhill from there anyway. I mean, hey, my life didn't really go anywhere till I was 30, so I don't know if that's motivating or depressing, but there you go. Follow your dreams, kids. And just when things are looking their worst, you'll never guess what happens. Oh? We're not even 5 minutes into this movie yet. Now, at the after-game party, Troy and Gabriella are sitting in Troy's treehouse that he just kind of suddenly has now for some reason, and we learn some shocking news.
So, another top secret hiding place?
You're the second girl I've ever had up here.
But don't worry, the first girl was just my life-size poster of Roxanne from a Goofy movie. Why is it all wrinkled like that? No reason, don't worry about it. So the main plot thread of this movie is that Troy's friends and family expect him to go to the University of Albuquerque. But he might also have a chance at Juilliard, which honestly makes no sense whatsoever, considering that he sang in one winter musical 1 time so far in his entire high school career. So, I guess it must be that bucket haircut he's got on his head, you know what I'm saying?
Let's begin with Mr. Danforth. Your future.
It's easy. It's U of A. Hoops all the way.
Yeah.
Miss McKessie.
I'm gonna be the President of the United States of America.
Mr. Bolton. Mr. Bolton. Your future.
Oh, yeah,
Well, let's see here. I plan to go to college, major in something I don't really care about, graduate with $50,000 in debt, enter a job market that's been systematically dismantled so much I can't even find a job remotely related to my aforementioned college major, and of course the ones I do find only pay minimum wage anyway, so I just have to live the rest of my life knowing that the only way I can pay for medical expenses is with a GoFundMe campaign. So who's ready to graduate? Now, one of the sort of side stories of this movie is prom, and everyone's getting nervous about how to ask someone and what are they gonna wear and all that kind of stuff. So Chad here is trying to ask Taylor, but Taylor's just, being all Taylor about it.
I was kind of wondering if you'd maybe go with me.
Oh, hey, Chad. They have tuna surprise on the menu. It's good.
Hey, I'm asking you to prom.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you because it's so loud in here.
Yo! Oh. My friend has something to say.
9/11 was an inside job. Anyway, so he asked Taylor to prom. She says yes, finally. And then we get this whole musical number about, trying on prom clothes and all that stuff.
Do I want classic or vintage or plaid? With a mirror, I think this tux is too baggy, too tight, it makes me look weird.
I think you're kind of bringing most of that on yourself there, Troy, because what was any of that just now? Hey guys, do you think this tux makes me look weird? Now, one of the new characters that we kind of meet in this movie is this guy, Rocket Man, who's really just some underclassman dude who keeps bothering Troy because I don't actually know why. Anyway, he keeps bothering Troy so much, the musical director lady makes him Troy's understudy in the musical.
Yeah, I'm playing the understudy.
Understudy isn't a role, you moron.
Well, hate to break it to you, sister, but you're one too.
The difference being I can actually carry a tune.
I wouldn't sing with you if my hair was on fire and you were the last bucket of water on Earth.
I wouldn't sing with you if I was starving and you were the last pickle at the picnic.
What? What does any of this have to do with singing? If I was stuck on a deserted island with no food for a week and you were a sandwich, I totally would not braid your hair. What the heck are you talking about, guys?
Wanna go to lunch sometime?
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Okay, well, I hope that kid never speaks again. So the whole thing going on with Gabrielle in this movie is that she's been accepted to Stanford. But of course, going there means she'll be away from Troy. And this is kind of pulling her in a bunch of different directions. Like, you know, should I stay in Albuquerque? Like, that's even a question. Or go all the way out to Stanford. And here's where Taylor gives, honestly, the best advice.
Girl, your future is calling loud and clear.
No, maybe I like it here. Maybe I want to stay in Albuquerque as long as possible.
Stay in Albuquerque? That makes no sense.
You know, I can take classes at U of A next fall or something.
Did you say U of A? It's obvious that you're not thinking clearly because you're thinking about Troy. I mean, I get it that he's your first crush.
Now, I don't really have a joke or anything here, but just like, when I was 18, I moved all the way across the world by myself. Now, I'm not saying everyone should do that. I'll admit, it's a bit extreme. But like, if you can, I highly recommend you leave your hometown, your home state, or like whatever, and go see what's out there. Like, the world is a huge place. And you're really doing yourself a disservice if you just stay in the same place forever, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Troy and Gabriella have a little pizza party picnic thing in a room and talk things over.
Your freshman honors program at Stanford. A lot of people heard about it. But I wasn't one of them. Why?
Because I knew what you would say.
Of course you should do the honors program. Is that what you were trying to tell me? Backyard the other day?
One of the things.
What else?
Oh, geez, lots of stuff you don't know about me. Where do I even start? Let's see. In my closet, there's a couple jars full of toenails. Mine, of course, because, you know, I'm not like some kind of weirdo or anything. I used to go into AOL chat rooms pretending to be a 40-year-old man just to throw people off. All kinds of stuff, Troy. You should probably get out of here.
I'm a lot better at goodbyes than you.
Why are you saying goodbye? You still have prom. You still have to graduate.
I meant good night.
Okay, wait a second here. You actually meant to say that you're better at good nights than him? What does that even mean? So Gabriella gets accepted into some kind of like early semester honors program at Stanford, which means she has to go there like way early and can't participate in the musical or like anything like that. Yes, Gabriella, once again, just kind of disappears. I think I'm seeing a pattern here. Anyway, at home, Troy talks to his dad about going off to college and he gets all riled up because I just want to follow my dreams, Dad.
Yeah, U of A isn't the only school that's talked to me, Dad. You know that.
But it's the only school we talked about. Chad would be awfully disappointed if you decide to change your mind.
No, Chad would get over it. You raised me to make my own choices, and I need to make them. Not you or Chad or anybody else. Me.
So he goes back to school and goes through this whole musical number thing, which is really just like a souped up version of that Magical Princess Twirl song from the second movie. But then when the song's over, this happens.
Miss D?
See, it's true. Teachers do live at school. I knew it! But like seriously though, if she was just sitting there like or whatever, you know, that's one thing. But she was sitting in the auditorium alone in the dark?
Run for your life, Troy. It's an ambush.
At some point later in time, Troy comes home with his prom tux and his mom reacts just about the way you'd expect.
Hi. Wow. Gorgeous.
I love how in just like this half-second moment, there's a whole conversation that happens between Troy's mom and Chad. Hey, you want a kiss too? Nah, I'm all right, thanks. You sure? I'm kind of on a roll here. Nah, it's all right, Mrs. Bolton. I don't even like y'all that much anyway. Yeah, that's what they all say. After this, Troy gets a phone call from Gabriella, who tells him some bad news.
We need to talk.
Gabriella, prom is in 2 days. You're supposed to be on a plane right now.
It's taken me 2 weeks to get used to being away from you. So would I come back, go to prom, and leave again? I think I've run out of goodbyes.
Why do you keep saying goodbye?
I love you, Wildcat. But I need to stay right where I am.
But what, you think Troy's just gonna roll over and take it? Ha! Nope. He's gonna drive 1,000 miles in like 4 hours somehow and surprise her at Stanford. What a swell guy. So somehow they end up making it back in time to put on the musical, which turns out is actually just the entire movie that we just watched. A whole bunch of wacky antics ensue, and Troy ends up giving some kind of speech at graduation.
East High is a place where teachers encouraged us to break the status quo. It's a place where one person
if it's the right person, changes us all.
Which raises a lot of questions here. Like, does that mean he was valedictorian, not Gabriella or Taylor or literally anyone else? Or is it just because he was the captain of the basketball team? Because, like, that's kind of a big old middle finger to every other sports team at the school, don't you think? Now, you may have noticed that I didn't actually say anything about Sharpay. And there's one very important reason for that. She doesn't do anything in this movie! She's not a villain, she doesn't affect the story at all, she just kind of like exists in the same space as everyone else. All she really does is sing a song about wanting to be famous. Shocking, right? But yeah, so these movies are really something else, you know? I will say though, High School Musical 3, I guess, just had this huge budget or something, because like all of a sudden, everything is 10 times bigger than before. And this movie in particular, like, there's almost more songs than actual movie. Like seriously, no joke, the last 20 minutes are all singing. There's really not a lot of movie here at all. It's basically just like Troy brooding about whatever, and then singing about brooding, and that's the movie. The movie itself is just like whatever, but aesthetically, it's a pretty movie. I'll give it that. There's a lot of interesting color theory going on in a lot of places. You know, watching all these movies in a row, like, I guess I can see why they were so big at the time. Because, like, they just have every element of a popular tween teen movie thing or whatever, just all crammed together. And, like, with all the bright colors and music and dancing and all that, I can see how people got distracted from the fact that these movies don't actually make a lot of sense. There's several parts in these movies that, like, if you just think about it, you know, for like 5 seconds or whatever, you're just like, wait, what? But I'll say this, despite everything I've said over the last 3 videos now, I'm actually glad these movies exist. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So really quick, first thing here, so usually, you know, I have t-shirts or whatever, like related to the movie.
Also, das ist schon cringe. Ich habe die Filme auch ein bisschen verdrängt, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Aber ich mag den Kanal von Alex. Das ist ein schöner Kanal, das ist sehr lustig. Ich muss die Musik ein bisschen leiser machen, glaube ich, für euch. Haut euch die Ohren weg. Ich frage mich auch, wie er darauf gekommen ist. Ich muss den mal googeln. Ich bin leider noch nicht fertig. Sobald ich fertig bin. Ja, das ist großartig. Das ist wie Honest Traders. So, Alex Meyer. Wiki YouTube, okay. Er ist ein amerikanischer YouTuber. Ach was. He has a character who has no characteristics. Okay. Der macht tatsächlich nichts anderes als... Jo. Ich finde ihn cool. Okay? Wir haben uns übrigens jetzt gerade die ganze Zeit diesen grandiosen Kanal angeguckt. Und ich abonniere ihn jetzt direkt mal. Finde ich cool. Finde ich tatsächlich ziemlich cool. Ach, der macht auch Cartoons. Ja gut, das ergibt Sinn, wenn er sich das ganze Tag selber macht. Also ich finde ihn ziemlich cool. Bin sehr froh, dass ich ihn entdeckt habe. Ingadia, danke für den Resub. Schön, dass du da bist. Wir können uns ja jetzt noch, was haben wir denn nicht? Was habe ich noch? Also wir können uns auch Chilling Adventures of Sabrina anschauen, bevor wir raiden. Weil ich würde jetzt gerne tatsächlich noch das Thema fertig machen und dann schlafen gehen. Mir geht's nicht so gut. Wenn das für euch okay ist, würde ich Sabrina anschmeißen. Wieder ohne Timer, weil wenn Sabrina dann durch ist, reite ich aufs Sofa. Das klingt falsch. Er hat auch ganz, ganz viel anderes Zeug gemacht. Lass mich mal kurz schauen. Also wir haben hier auch Ugly Betty, The Princess Diaries, liebe ich ja eigentlich. Riverdale hat er richtig viel gemacht. The Kissing Booth hat er, Wings hat er, Bridgerton, Princess Protection Program? Was sind die schon wieder? Julie and the Phantom, oh mein Gott. Ja, also, wir können auch mal den ganzen Abend eigentlich nur kommentieren, was er da... Und Twilight. Natürlich hat er Twilight. Ich muss ganz ehrlich zugeben, ich fand die Idee von Sabrina eigentlich ziemlich gut, weil ich kannte Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Also die kinderfreundliche, cute Variante. Hier muss ich sagen, ja. So wirklich abgeholt hat es mich jetzt auch nicht, ne? Genau, die fand ich nämlich echt cool. Ich weiß, wie es ausgeht, aber auch nur, weil ich mir das irgendwann mal zu Ende geguckt habe. Ich habe Riverdale abgebrochen und das aus gutem Grund, deswegen, ja. Glee habe ich auch nie gesehen. Also ich werd mir auf jeden Fall hier noch einige Videos anschauen. So, meine Lieben, ich würde es starten und dann reiten wir los. Wir können auch mal gucken, ob wir zusammen was angucken und ich suche gerne mal noch weitere von diesen Sachen raus, weil ich habe da sehr viel davon. Und dann würde ich sagen, schauen wir uns Sabrina an und ich mache das Thema fertig.
So way back in the 90s, there was this show called Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Based on, of course, the Archie comic series of the same name, it was more or less just like a sitcom about witches or whatever. But now, with Riverdale being such a huge TV hit for who knows what reason, I mean, come on, you guys watching season 3? Like, what the heck is that even about? Anyway, interest in the Archie comics / Riverdale universe or whatever is at an all-time high. So, naturally, bringing back Sabrina seems like a no-brainer. And about a week ago, Netflix released The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. And y'all know what that means. Let's take a walk. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Yubo. Yubo is a new social networking app that lets you make new friends, watch live streams, chat, everything you could want. Finding friends is easy. They have a swipe left, swipe right system that totally doesn't look like any other app I may have made a video about in the past. So finding friends with similar interests or based on geographic location or whatever is really simple. Live streaming is a big part of the app as well. You can start live streams, chat with other people watching the same stream. You can stream with other people and join the conversation, whatever you want. And of course, Yubo is free. Just follow my link down below, download the app, and you can come say hi to me over here. I've been chatting with some people here and there, like this guy who thought it was a fake account. Surprise, it really was me the whole time. Now, one thing I think is pretty cool about Yubo is they have an entire section devoted to LGBTQ+. So, if you're part of that community and you're looking to find and talk with other people like you, this app could be great for that. Anyway, like I said, it's easy to sign up, easy to use, and you can start finding friends in just a few seconds. So once again, click the link down below, download the app, and give it a try. Okay, back to the show. The show starts out with Sabrina giving us a little introductory monologue.
In the town of Greendale, where it always feels like Halloween, there lived a girl who is half witch, half mortal, who, on her 16th birthday, would have to choose between two worlds.
Ah yes, the choice that every young girl must eventually make. Do you go emo or do you go horse girl? So Sabrina's out with her friends watching some scary movies when she bumps into one of her teachers at the movie theater.
Miss Wardwell, we have a tradition of going to the movies and then to Dr. Cerberus's to dissect whatever we just saw. Do you want to join us?
What? What 16-year-old would ask this? I mean, can you imagine what this would even be like? You know, I think the zombies are really an allegory for the human struggle to find a place in an ever-changing world that will inevitably leave us all behind. What do you think, Miss Wardwell? He left me for an 18-year-old Starbucks barista. Like, who even does that? But anyway, she declines. Now, on the way home, Miss Wardwell runs into some girl just walking out of the woods by herself. Nothing weird about that, right?
Everyone knows about the witch hunt in Salem, but there was one right here in Greendale.
How do you know so much about witches?
So I teach at the local high school.
Is one of your students named Sabrina?
Do you know Sabrina?
No.
But I knew her father.
Well, that's an awkward moment to hit puberty now, isn't it? After this, Miss Wardwell gets stabbed in the neck, which thankfully is still slightly better than hanging out with Sabrina over there, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the main story going through this whole series is that on her 16th birthday, Sabrina will have a dark baptism, meaning she'll have to leave all her human friends behind and go to not Hogwarts. But Sabrina, just like anyone, I guess, she likes her school, likes her friends, you know, she's half human, so she kind of feels torn about whether she should or should not actually go through with it. Before she can be baptized, however, she must first pick a familiar, which is basically a spirit that looks like an animal.
Sabrina, you need to pick a familiar before your dark baptism. The council sent the registry. Vinegar Tom would happily welcome another dog.
About that, Auntie, I've been practicing a summoning spell I found in the Demonomicon, and what if I put it out there that I'm looking for a familiar and see if anyone wants to volunteer?
Okay, wait a second. So you're telling me that some 16-year-old girl's gonna walk out into the woods alone and just see who wants to hang out? Let's see here. I found this spell in one of my aunt's old spell books, so let's give it a shot. BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, only swipe right if you're under 40. Wait a second. Hi, I'm Bob from accounting. You want some licorice? Anyway, so she goes into the forest and uses the witch version of Tinder to see what happens.
Spirits of the forest, I pronounce my intentions to thee. Come forth and seek me, and equal we will be.
Now this forest scene here is a good example of how, like, I guess the show was filmed with some kind of weird, like, anamorphic lens or something, because, like, everything just looks a little off, you know? It feels like everything's a dream or something. At first, I thought this was kind of cool. It's, like, artsy and different, but by the end of the episode, I was, like, almost seasick. Anyway, so after this, Sabrina's friend Susie gets assaulted by a few members of the football team, but she won't tell Sabrina any of their names. Now, Sabrina, of course, wants to help, but the principal of the school's not making things easy.
Susie doesn't feel safe here in your school. She is living in a constant state of fear.
If that is true, then you, as her friend, might suggest to Miss Putnam that she find another school.
So this puts Sabrina in a tough spot. But I mean, come on, Sabrina, you got magic. Surely there must be something you can do here. Just then, Miss Wardwell 2.0 shows up to save the day.
Principal Hawthorne isn't an ally. If he were to take a sabbatical, say, I suspect you and your friends would come up with some way to help Susie.
The problem is Hawthorne doesn't take sabbaticals.
He's scared of spiders, you know.
Armed with this fascinating new discovery, Sabrina goes off to get help from her cousin, Ambrose. And together they cast a spell to, as Sabrina puts it,
I don't want to kill Principal Hawthorne. I just need to give him a good scare.
Makes sense, right? I mean, the principal's scared of spiders, you know, just make like a spider drop onto his face, or maybe he opens a box of Lucky Charms and surprise, all the marshmallows are spiders now, or something funny like that, right?
Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh!
Oh dear. You know, I'm pretty sure the principal doesn't need to specifically be scared of spiders for this to work. Like, I'm not scared of spiders, but I'm scared of a million spiders, okay? Crawling in my mouth and all kinds of weird places. Like, literally anyone would react the same exact way in any context. Anyway, so after this is all over, Sabrina goes to her bedroom and hears someone inside.
Sabrina.
Who are you? Show yourself.
I heard you calling in the woods.
See, now, it's like I always say, okay? Never trust a profile picture. You know, like, everyone has those dog and cat filters on their face, and everyone just miraculously loves hiking, which really just means, I own a pair of Timberland boots. So you think you found a good one, you know, it's all on the up and up, and you invite them over to hang out, and then BAM! Spooky shadow monster. Happens every time. But then it just turns into a cute little cat, and now we all just forget about the Slenderman thing we just saw. Now, throughout the episode, Sabrina keeps going back and forth about whether she does or does not want to actually become a witch, especially now that she's worried about her friend Susie and the football players. She's got her other friends, she's got her boyfriend. Like, it's a tough spot. So Ambrose advises her to eat an apple from an old tree, which, I mean, like, obviously, what else are you gonna do, Sabrina? Come on. Now, Sabrina does this and has a really creepy vision. She goes home to talk to her aunts, and before she can say or do anything, this happens.
This is our niece, Sabrina.
Your aunts tell me you're having doubts about your baptism. That you may, in fact, not be signing your name in the Book of the Beast. Let us see what I can do to convince you.
Oh, what's gonna happen to Sabrina? Is she gonna become a witch, or is she gonna choose friendship and love? I guess we'll just have to watch the whole show to find out. You know, watching just this first episode, like, I feel like they kind of made the show about the wrong character. I get that it's aimed at a younger crowd. You know, they're trying to peel off some of that Riverdale audience or whatever. Like, I get it. But I just want a whole show about Ambrose, because almost every other character I've met so far is just kind of annoying. I mean, sure, it's just the first episode. Obviously, as the show goes on, things might change. Like, sure, okay. But, like, it kind of just feels like I'm watching Goosebumps, you know? I do have to say, though, just like with Riverdale, the costumes and set design and just kind of the overall, like, aesthetic or whatever, it's really well done. Like, this is a very pretty show. And to be fair, it's interesting enough that, of course, I'll keep watching, like, you know, but I guess we'll see. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. So, of course, we have a new Sabrina shirt in the store. Link is down below in the description. So, looks good to you, or you just want to support the channel, or both? You know, I don't know, whatever. It's there for you.
Okay, wir müssen noch ein Video anschauen. Ich bin noch nicht fertig. Ich muss noch 5 Kapitel machen. Aber ganz ehrlich, Rali, das ist mir auch schon öfters so passiert. Okay, wir machen noch das 10-Minuten-Video und dann gehe ich nämlich wie Rali aufs Sofa und kuriere mich aus und dann bin ich hoffentlich auch damit durch. Also. Ja, und er ist halt auch echt großartig. Das muss man ihm ja jetzt auch lassen. Also er ist schon großartig. Da könnte man theoretisch noch weiter anschauen. Aber ich merke bei mir gerade, wie es mir einen Stecker zieht. Deswegen, das machen wir noch, dann bin ich auch fertig mit meinem heutigen Brotjob und dann reizen wir noch einmal in die Produktivzeit. Also, Minuten.
Okay, so I've seen all your messages, your tweets, your comments, everyone asking me, nay, begging me to do a video on Supernatural. Well, I finally got around to it, guys, okay? You can stop asking now. But anyway, one thing that really struck me as interesting about this show was that Supernatural started in 2005. Now, that by itself might not seem like anything special, but to put that in context, 2005 was years before the whole, like, teen drama concept as we know it now even started. The first Twilight book was published in 2005. The first movie didn't come out till 2008, and that kind of sparked this whole like teen drama movement of young girls in small towns doing what young girls in small towns do best, which is apparently falling in love with dead guys or whatever. But Supernatural came out long before any of this was even a thing. So coming from a guy who watches way too many teen dramas, how is it? Well, let's check it out. The show starts with your average family just going to sleep when suddenly mom catches fire and the house blows up because demons and stuff. Fast forward, and the baby of the family, Sam, is, surprise, surprise, not a baby anymore, and getting ready for some kind of like Halloween party thing.
Do I have to?
Yes, it'll be fun. And where's your costume?
You know how I feel about Halloween.
You know, people just don't give out real candy anymore. Everything's fun size now. When I was a kid, we were getting king-size Snickers bars at every house. People were practically throwing them at us. And now? Nothing. Would you believe people don't like it when a 22-year-old man dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog rings their doorbell? Political correctness out of control. That night, a stranger sneaks into Sam's apartment, and this happens.
Easy, Tiger.
Sam?
Jess. Hey.
Okay, how is it that we just heard these guys punching each other with the sound of like a sledgehammer hitting the wall 20 times, and it just barely wakes her up? Hey, good thing your girlfriend sleeps like a literal zombie, or she might think this is weird that we're doing this at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it turns out the stranger is his brother Dean, which, I mean, like, I have 3 brothers, so I get the whole, like, boys like to wrestle type of thing, but, like, if my brother snuck into my house and tried to beat me up, my response wouldn't exactly be, oh, stop it, you. Anyway, turns out their dad has gone missing, and Dean wants Sam to help him go look.
Dad's on a hunting trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days. Just excuse us. We have to go outside. I can't do this alone. Yes, you can. Yeah. Well, I don't want to. What was he hunting?
Well, I mean, cougars, obviously.
So when Dad left, why didn't you go with him? I was working my own gig. Dad let you go on a hunting trip by yourself? I'm 26, dude.
Okay, I don't really know if you're helping your case much when your argument is, I'm 26, dude. Like, I mean, I'm 29 and I still burn half the things I put in the oven, so like bragging to me that you're 26 is not really boosting my confidence here. Sam and Dean head off to the last place they knew their dad was, and when they get there, they find out that someone in town has mysteriously vanished. Going into town, they find the missing guy's girlfriend to try and get some more information.
I was on the phone with Troy. He was driving home. He said he would call me right back, and he never did.
He didn't say anything strange or out of the ordinary?
No, nothing I can remember.
I like your necklace.
What? Where's this coming from? I hear your boyfriend's missing. Yeah, he never called me back. He's been missing ever since. That's really terrible. But girl, those hair extensions? You look like a snack.
Here's the deal, ladies. The way Troy disappeared, something's not right. So if you've heard anything, what is it?
Well, it's just, I mean, with all these guys going missing, people talk.
What do they talk about?
You know, the usual stuff like, who's better, Roxanne or Lola Bunny? Spoilers, the answer is Roxanne, by the way. You know I'm right. Don't at me.
It's kind of this local legend. This one girl, she got murdered out on Centennial, like decades ago. Well, supposedly she's still out there. She hitchhikes, and whoever picks her up, well, they disappear forever.
Well, how wonderful. That night, Sam and Dean go to the bridge to try and find this ghost lady person thing that their dad was also investigating, apparently.
You think you're just gonna become some lawyer? Marry your girl?
Maybe. Why not?
Does Jessica know the truth about you? I mean, does she know about the things you've done?
No, and she's not ever going to know.
Well, that's healthy. You can pretend all you want, Sammy, but sooner or later you're gonna have to face up to who you really are.
Hey, I erased all my internet history and threw away all my Space Jam VHS tapes, okay? No one's ever gonna know about my furry phase. It's cool, I got it taken care of, don't worry about it. And then it turns out their car is actually the car from Knight Rider.
What the?
Who's driving your car?
Your chance of survival is less than 0.04%.
Fun fact, did you know that the voice of the car from Knight Rider was actually Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World? I mean, this is the weirdest cinematic universe I've ever seen. Unfazed by the fact that a ghost just possessed their car, they go to a local hotel, but Dean is caught by the police because he used a stolen credit card. Now, Sam goes out to find more information, and on the way runs into, or through, I guess, the ghost lady.
Take me home.
No.
See, this is why I'm still not on board with the whole like self-driving Tesla car thing or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's convenient, it's all futuristic and all that stuff, but what if I pick up a ghost lady on the side of the road and she uses her magic ghost powers to drive me off a bridge? I mean, everyone says how much of a genius Elon Musk is, but is he smarter than a ghost lady? Huh? Wake up, sheeple! Sam then drives her to her old house, they fight, the ghosts of her kids show up and suckle her to death. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of weird. Sam then goes home to his girlfriend, who was also set on fire. Yeah, and he decides to go out with his brother to find their dad. So there's a lot of fire in this show. But really, considering this show started 13 years ago, and by the way, is still going, what? But like compared to a lot of other shows I've done videos on, this actually wasn't really all that bad. I mean, it's cheesy for sure, and not just because it's 2005, but I mean like, in the end, it holds its own pretty well. Maybe it's because it's not about teens or high school vampires or like whatever, but I actually thought it was pretty okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna watch 13 seasons of it, let's be real here, but there's no like fake teen jargon, there's no like ridiculous high school setups, there's no random musical numbers, it's just pretty straightforward. All things told, it's not really that bad. So a big thank you to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a pain it is to get stocked up on all the shaving stuff you gotta get, you know, like for me.
Das ist perfekt. Ich bin gerade tatsächlich fertig mit meinem Kram. Also das war wirklich guter Call. Ich muss das jetzt nur noch zurückmelden, machen, tun. Dann ist auch das Battle soweit und ich gucke jetzt mal, wer alles da ist. Wo wir denn hingehen könnten. Damit ich mich jetzt aufs Sofa schmeißen kann und sagen kann, okay, Wärmflasche, gib ihm, weil dass mir der Kaffee heute Morgen schon nicht geschmeckt hat. Das war ein kleines Alarmzeichen, muss ich jetzt sagen, ne? Oh, Arthur ist da. Und Leo ist da. Ich habe Leo schon sehr lange nicht mehr geradet. Und Leo spricht gerade über die TOS von Twitch. Deswegen würde ich sagen, gehen wir zu Leo rüber. Ganz genau. Genau das werde ich jetzt tun. Ich werde mich aufs Sofa legen und mich von Leo quasi in den Schlaf dudeln lassen. Deswegen bitte sagt ihm das nie. So, ich starte mal den Raid, sonst vergesse ich es wieder. Singende Zombie begrüßt. Disney makes no sense. So. Ich würde sagen, wir nehmen heute auch nur 2, weil es sehr lange sind. Meine Lieben, es war mir ein Fest. Es tut mir auch sehr leid, dass ich heute sehr ruhig, sehr, ja, ne, dass ich heute nicht so fit war. Es tut mir wirklich leid. Ich gebe mir Mühe, am Sonntag fit zu sein. Am Sonntag hoffe ich auch, dass die Tinten da sind. Deutsch. Sonst malen wir ein paar Dinge. Ich habe mir von MJ Ausmalbücher oder Ausmalseiten machen lassen. Die schauen wir uns mal an. Ich wünsche euch noch einen wunderschönen Freitag. Viel Spaß bei Leo. Lernt ein bisschen was von ihm. Ist ein super cooler Kerl. Und dann sehen wir uns am Sonntag und richtig viel im Nano. Ich werde euch sehr, sehr heftig durch die Nano-Staffel begleiten. Beziehungsweise durch den Nano begleiten mit der Schreibstaffel, mit der Nano-Staffel. Weil wir haben wieder eine Staffel auf die Beine gestellt. Und überraschenderweise habe ich wieder die Abendschichten. Egal. Wir sehen uns Sonntag. Ich wünsche euch viel Spaß bei Leo. Macht's gut, passt auf euch auf und bis dann. Danke für den Stream.